Good morning and welcome to Pembroke Cricket Club versus Pembroke versus Ashbourne in a T20 competition. I am joined by Prashant here. Hello.
Hello, Eli. Good morning. How are you?
Good, I'm good. How are you?
I am feeling actually pretty good. It's a beautiful sunny day for cricket, and I hope we have a good game of cricket as well.
Yeah, beautiful day. Nice warm conditions. Pembroke, as you can probably see, have won the toss and elected to bat first. Ashbourne, as you can see on your screen there, getting ready to field.
So, Eli, what do you think of today's game? Have Pembroke decided to take the right decision by batting first, or do you think in a T20 game they should have chased it?
Well, it depends. Gordon Clark, the captain, he always likes batting first. The wicket is quite green. It's a new wicket. The, the threes game yesterday, it was a good batting surface. Also proved to be a good bowling one as well. So I think winning the toss was quite key. And depending on what the captain wanted to do, really, I probably would have bowled first. But that's just me.
I agree. Like for Pembroke Fives, when I was captaining last week over the weekend, when we won the toss, I always decided to chase, irrespective of what it was, because just like you, I believe the same. It's good to know what you're chasing all the time rather than setting up a target, because I feel that whenever you set up a target, you're always less. But while chasing, you exactly know what you need to do, and then you can calculate. But it is what it is. Captain Gordon Clark is a seasoned customer, so he definitely knows what he's up to. I think it will be Brendan and Sahil who would be opening for Pembroke. It'll be interesting to see what their approach would be. Would they wait and watch, or would they go from ball one?
I don't know. Well, certainly in a final, maybe runs on the board might be key because the second batting team might get nervous. But I think,
Scoreboard pressure.
yeah, I think I personally would have bowled first in a nice green wicket with a fresh new ball. The ball might skid on a little bit.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you are right, Prashant. It's going to be Brendan Ferris and Sahil to open the batting.
Absolutely, and we can expect some fireworks right from the word go.
Yeah, both batsmen aren't one to hang around. Both will go from ball one, more than likely. Maybe see one or two balls in and then go.
That's a little ambitious. One or two balls, I think they'll go from ball one.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see how they fare.
Yeah, the umpire's getting ready. Batsman's getting ready. A beautiful day in Pembroke. Great day for cricket. If you want to come down and watch the game, there is another game at 5 o'clock today between Pembroke and Wicklow, but we're focusing on this one right now.
And I think for Ashbourne, the opening spell will be bowled by bowler Vipin Baby, who I believe is a seam bowler. And it's Brendan Ferris who's taking his guard.
Well, there seems to be a bit of something going on. You can see one of the umpires talking to the Pembroke captain, Gordon Clark. We are a minute late starting already. You normally want to start right on time because there is another game after this.
Yep.
Gordon Clark and the umpire having a chat over something. We can't exactly give you the details, but it seems something quite, I don't know.
I think you're right. They are probably discussing the time because they are just a minute or two behind schedule. So let's see. And it's opening bowler Vipin Baby who's got the ball. And Ashbourne captain would be expecting him to get a breakthrough as soon as possible, because he would definitely know if Brendan and Sahil stay for long, any opening batsman stays for long, it can cause havoc. Because that basically gives you the license for people below you to actually just go for it from ball one.
Well, Vipin will probably look to bowl a lot on the offside. He's got one slip and it looks offside heavy, that field cover right on the ring. No fine leg. Or do they have a fine leg?
No, they don't have a fine leg.
Off ball one here, Brendan. Cut away, straight to mid-off, and they'll get a quick single and get this game underway with the single.
Brilliant. That's a good start. And as a batsman, if you get off the mark in the first ball, it does a world of good for you. It actually makes you feel that, you know what, I've just middled this one. So it's time for me to just relax my nerves and start it again.
It's always good to get underway. It's Vipin coming into bowl again. Cut away again. Going to get through the field. Good running there by Sahil, and Brendan scampers through for a single.
Absolutely. I think sometimes in T20s, people undervalue the importance of singles and doubles. If you don't get a boundary, it's okay. Keep ticking the scoreboard because it always makes a difference at the end of the game. It's a good ball.
There's team sheets. Good ball. Just a dot ball.
Yep, dot ball. I also think Ashbourne are pretty attacking in their field. If you look at it, so they have packed offside field, which means they're expecting the bowler just to land outside the off. That's a good ball and well fielded by bowler Vipin Baby. He doesn't seem quick, but he's pretty accurate with his line and length. And sometimes all that matters in T20 is accuracy over than brute speed.
Yeah, just probably could have been a bit there to hit away, but it ended up good bowling.
And well kept. And well kept.
That one just maybe bounced right before the keeper. Those are very hard. It's well kept indeed.
So it's 5 balls gone and 2 runs without a wicket for Pembroke.
That's just respected there by Brendan. It's always good as a T20 bowler to be very consistent, because if you're bowling 3 balls down leg or 3 balls on the offside, it's very hard to set a field to that.
Exactly, and I think Ashbourne have started very well. So it's 1 over gone, 2 runs for no wickets. And Pembroke wouldn't mind it as well, because it's important that both these openers stay for long, and that's what Captain Gordon Clark would have said to his batsmen. Don't throw away your wicket, let the bowlers earn it. And change of over. And it's Sahil who's going to take strike.
Very important, especially in T20, to bat your overs. If you get out for 140 in 17 overs, you've missed out on potentially 18 balls or more.
18 balls and 20 runs, let's say it. So that's 160. And I think we have a spinner. And it's an interesting tactic, one which is commonly used in world right now. Get your spinner in your power play.
I don't know, the keeper looks to be standing back maybe.
Yeah, but that's what the umpire was telling. Is it a pacer or a keeper? A pacer or a spinner, if you look at it. And there is another delay because the captain changes his field. Ashbourne have to be pretty careful, because if they waste a lot of time, it might impact the next game as well. So I'm sure the umpires would have an eye on it.
Yeah, I was at the subfield in the threes game yesterday, and the overweight was quite slow. There's 6 overs behind the rate, so you need to constantly go quick through the overs.
Yep. That's straight to the leg side. I don't think he's a pace bowler. I think he's a medium pace bowler. Velaga.
Yeah.
I think he starts off with drifting down the leg side. As a bowler, it's also very difficult to get your rhythm on ball 1. So Velaga would be expecting to land the ball at a better position next time.
Just finds the inside edge of the heel.
And he makes a good call of saying wait. And that's so important in T20 or any form of cricket, that as soon as you play the shot, you actually signal your non-striker that, am I going for the run or am I not?
It's a nice shot. It's in the air though. It's a bit risky, but it was a ball there to be hit away, and Sahil does that very nicely.
Absolutely. I think that's a classic Sahil shot. Ball was just shortly pitched and he just whacked it. And that would do a world of good for Sahil.
As all you really need is a boundary or 2 and over, and then just work the singles and you get 8 and over, and that's really all you need in the first 5 in the first power play. The better ball, Fuller as the heel, trying to drive that, but Velga,
Great comeback by the bowler.
Velga fielding that nicely. The fielders looked to have that covered anyway, but good fielding.
Absolutely, and especially in T20s, after you get hit for a 4, you are mentally struggling.
That's flicked away off the pads, gonna go down to final leg. That off the pads or with the bat, the umpire signal.
I think it's off the bat.
Yeah.
That's what the umpire signaled. I think Sahil got a touch on the bat. Let's see. And it's Brendan Ferris back on strike. He's played 5 balls and scored 1 run, and he would be looking to just cut loose now, provided it's a bad ball.
Yeah, it's just,
And it's actually well bowled by Velaga and little hesitant in running, but Sahil makes it. And Brendan was actually running at the danger end, but it was his call, so he was well in time. So slight misunderstanding between the two, but nothing to worry for either of the batsmen.
yeah, you just need to always make your decision early on what you're gonna do. Any hesitation could lead to a facial run out, which could change the game completely, because you want your openers to get a good start, make the field change a lot. It was good running in the end.
Absolutely, and I think it's 2 overs gone, 7 for no wicket, and Sahil, who's batting on 6 from 6 balls, and Brendan has faced 6 balls and scored 1 run.
Shorter there.
That's well cut by Brendan, but nicely fielded at point. A slight amount of hesitation creeping in Brendan because he's not able to connect it well, but all it takes is one boundary and things change for batsmen.
Vippin again. Fuller. That one just bounced a little bit direct hit. Could be close. Appeal. Brendan looks to maybe be in. That was a big opportunity. Again, Brendan a little bit hesitant. That could change everything.
Absolutely. I think the fielder at mid-off was hesitant for the throw, and that gave a second or two extra for Brendan. And also, it wasn't the greatest of throws. The bowler had to collect it far from his reach and then get it to the stumps.
I think the umpire has made a good decision there. Got in a good position to have a look at it.
That's actually great ball by Vipin Baby. He's actually bowling right as where the field is set, and that's a great lesson for a lot of young fast bowlers who are actually watching it. Always back your fielders, because the captain asks the bowler where do you want your field, and the bowler has to deliver it consistently. Slightly uppish, but no danger.
Yeah, no danger. If that mid-on is maybe in a little, mid-off in a little bit, could be in a little bit of danger. But the heel just needs to regroup himself and maybe look to get off strike, get a single.
Yeah, I think that's important to rotate strike.
Looks to maybe have edged that. The heel gets off very lucky there, and how vital
wasn't-
that could be.
I wasn't sure of the edge, but I think the fielders all felt it. We'll probably see a replay of it.
I'm too lazy.
Our cameraman says no replay.
Well, there looked to be a lot of dust from the ground, I think. So maybe that indicated there's hit the ground.
That's
Oh.
a good ball. That's a good ball. I think Sahil's feet did not move, and he realized it very quickly, so he got his bat well in time. That's another good over by Vipin Baby. So it's 3 overs gone, 8 for no wicket. Pembroke have got to a very slow start, but credit to Ashbourne's bowling. They haven't let Pembroke go off the hook at all, and they haven't bowled not much of bad balls apart from one boundary which Sahil hit, and they were right on the money right from the word go. So that's credit to Ashbourne's bowling.
Yeah, you always need to be tight in the power play with only 2 fielders out, I think. And you need to be careful in where you're bowling. They'll get into bowl again to Brendan. The full toss, it's hit away with freedom.
For
Or go,
4.
Go all the way to the fence.
That'll do a world of good for Brendan Ferris. So he would have faced 9 balls and he's on 6 runs now. I think it was very clear that he wasn't bowled a bad ball, and finally he got one. He makes sure he cashed in on it fully.
And it's always bad start for the bowler if he gets hit for 4 on the first ball. It puts the pressure right on him, because now Brendan has 5 balls to really do whatever he wants.
That's a good ball and played slightly late. Brendan realized that there was no single and immediately called and said no. And Sahil duly responded by raising his hand.
Yeah, it was a good ball. Brendan maybe looked to guide that down to third man, but just couldn't. Went straight to cover.
That's a beautiful ball. It's a beautiful ball. And even Brendan smiles at the bowler because he knew he's delivered an absolute peach. He was playing for the in swing, but the ball just moved slightly out late
Ooh,
and well kept by the keeper, to be fair, because he moved along with the line of the pitch.
That pitched on about middle and off, and wow, that just beat the edge. Velga again. Just nicked away though.
Accurate, and Brendan calls for a quick single, and Sahil makes it.
They'll scamper through for a single. Again, 3 balls gone in this or 4 balls gone in this over. 5 from it. Sahil has 2 balls left. Sahil, we know if he wants to cash in on any bad deliveries or loose deliveries, he'll always cash in. Big appeal.
But it
Says
was
it's
down the
going.
leg, as the umpire has already suggested. I think Velega is getting good swing, and he's able to move the ball both in and outside. And if you look at Sahil, he was already teeing himself for the ball coming in, and the ball just moved outside. But luckily, he's on leg stump guard, so saves him. This one
Beating the
moved
edge.
slightly outside. So I think Velega has actually bowled a good over after getting hit for a 4 in the first ball.
Yeah, beating the edge all ends up. Sahil looking to have a big slash at that. But as some people know, if you want to slash hard. It's good over. Great recovery from Velega. Being hit on the first ball for 4 is never good. But he ends up bowling.
Absolutely. I think Ashbourne have to be credited here for bowling excellently. So it's 4 overs gone, 13 for nil, both batsmen. And no extras if you look at it, right? So it's 13 runs off the bat for both batsmen.
Yeah.
So it's it's Whippin' Baby who's back for his third over.
Respected by Brendan Ferris. It's on the stumps. You don't want to give away your wicket so early in a T20 especially.
Absolutely. I think these guys have done the hard yard of waiting and watching the ball, and Whippin' Baby has been pretty accurate. He hasn't bowled much of loose deliveries.
It's well fielded. Just gets a hand to it. Looked maybe a slower ball. Brendan had to wait a few seconds to hit that nearly into Whippin' Baby's hands.
And I think it's very important for bowlers to actually field off your own bowling, because had he not fielded it, he would have still gone to the mid-off and they would have just given them a chance for a single.
Whippin' again. Crush away. That's in the gap.
Beautiful shot by Brandon. Beautiful.
Gonna run away
That's boundary.
over the rope for 4. The beautiful shot from Brendan. He deserved the 4 there with that beautiful shot. Just a little bit short there from Whippin' Baby, and Brendan capitalises on it.
Absolutely, and I think Brendan has moved to double figures. So it's 15 balls faced and 11 runs, and Pembroke are slowly and steadily upping the run rate right now. And these two batsmen have realized that it's time they start hitting, because they're starting to get bad balls.
Whippin' running in again. Fuller ball. Bran gets an inside edge. Oh, maybe possibly through to the wrong end. Maybe the bowlers could have been a better option, but they get a single anyway.
Absolutely, and I think the keeper called for the ball first, and that's why he's raising his hand, because I thought personally that he should have hit the bowler's end. It's a game of fine margins, Eli. Things
Yeah.
change very quickly.
2 to go in the over. 5 from it so far. If they could get maybe 4 runs. It's well bowled. A great Yorker. Just kept out from Sahil.
I think that's one ball in T20 which will never go out of fashion, Yorker. We
Yeah.
can see the replay of Brendan's 4. Waited for the ball and cut it nicely between gully and point.
Whippin' into ball his last ball maybe of this spell. They might save him for 1 over at the end, or he might bowl straight 4. quite full there from Vipin, and Sahil will get a 1. That's the end of the 5th over. It's going to be 19 for none. And a change in the commentary box. Craig Sr. is going to replace Eli Clark.
Thank you, Eli. And we have a small correction. It's James Cresswell who's in commentary replacing Eli with me, Prashant.
Hey Prashant, good morning, how are you?
Good morning, James. I'm well. How are you?
Excellent, thanks. Yeah, good start for both teams, I think, so far. Pembroke are looking solid and they're rotating the strike. Haven't got that many boundaries, so the bowling's been, pretty tight at times.
Pretty accurate, I would say.
Yeah.
And they haven't given any of bad balls, and whenever they have bowled bad balls, the batsmen have punished them. So it's a game of equal balance as of now, and we have a first change in bowling. I think Sudhakaran is the new bowler.
Panning out to be quite a good contest, I think.
Absolutely.
So, what a beautiful day for it too. The ground's in great nick. The pitch is playing pretty true. You're getting, the ball to follow through nicely. There's some, it's probably going to be a bit of turn. You've got a spinner.
I hope it turns.
Here we go. Oh, just tempting him outside off there.
Play and a miss. I think slowly and steadily there is little bit of frustration creeping in Sahil. He's been slashing it a couple of times, missed it. I think he would be looking at his strike rate thinking, I've played 15 balls, haven't scored much. I need a boundary here to just get the pressure off me.
Yeah, and those cut shots are, always quite difficult. Oh, that's got to be a wide. Yeah, that was...
Big wide.
He's just trying to entice him to do the same, bowl the same ball and get him to try and cut it, to either get an edge or an inside edge, but just went too wide on that occasion.
Yeah. James, I had a question. So as a batsman, when you are in this kind of space where you have played 15 balls, you haven't got the brightest of the stars, but the score is still decent. Do you try and do something which you're not comfortable just to let the pressure go off you?
No, what I'd do is actually get a single and let the guy who is seeing the ball and hitting the ball well to the boundary, get him on strike.
Absolutely.
Sooner or later, I'd get my own, you'll get your own, it'll hopefully click in and you'll see the ball better, etc. But if I'm struggling, there's no point trying to go for the big six and, and losing the shape and the balance and
basically not throwing your wicket away.
Exactly. So I would, if I was Sahil, I'd just try and dab it and get a single.
I think Brendan, as a batsman, realized it that there's small amount of trouble for Sahil, and then he quickly called for a single after Sudhakaran bowled a beautiful ball.
So we just had an interesting, bit of a retro. No, but there's a nice bit of movement there. That was good, and actually it was even deceived the wicketkeeper.
Yep,
lovely ball. But no, look. He's very capable. See there, you see Brendan. He's seen the ball well. He scores a boundary. So that's what I'd be if I was Sahil.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot for 4. It was slightly towards the leg, and he flicked it across for a boundary between fine leg and deep square leg. I think this is exactly what Brendan needs to do. He realized that the ball is there for the taking. I will cash on it.
And also, Brendan's in good nick at the moment. He's been scoring well in the games leading up to this one.
No commentators jinx, James.
No, but he is. He's a class batsman. So, and both of them are. Don't get me wrong. But if one batsman's on the day looking sharper and seeing the ball better and getting the boundaries, etc., well, it's a pretty obvious state of affairs just to say, well, look, you drive it. I'm going to support you.
Yep. I think Brendan reminds me a lot of Mark Waugh. There is some amount of elegance when he bats. And if you look at the shot in the replay, right, he exactly knew where he wanted to hit and he just flicked it well.
Yeah, he's good at playing the balls on its merits.
That's quickly pushed to mid-on and quick single. Stolen by Brendan. Sudhakaran has bowled well. And for his first over, he's given 7 runs, I think. A boundary and 2 singles and a wide.
Yeah, in the context, it's not too bad. You wouldn't be too disappointed with that. I just wonder whether that fielder was just a fraction too deep. the singles have been. I mean, there've been some tight singles,
Yeah.
but with the quick calling they've had, they've been reasonably safe to get home. So I just wonder if it's worth getting everyone to take a step or two forward. You know,
Yeah, just to cut off the single so that they
Yeah.
feel more pressure for the batsman. So if I was captain for here right now, what I would do is I'll just spread my field, get Brendan with a single, and then close everything on Sahil and get my bowlers bull right at the stumps, because that's exactly what Ashbourne would need. Okay, and we have a new bowler who strays to the leg side. And the bowler is Gush. And as they would want, they have Sahil back on strike.
Yeah, if I was the bowler, I wouldn't be too disappointed about that, giving that single away.
Yeah, and also if you're not looking in great nick, and if you have a left arm bowler who can actually get the ball inside, especially and you're a right hand batsman, that's slightly difficult to put it away.
Here comes the bowl again.
That's a good ball.
Ooh. They're getting some shape, both these bowlers.
I think there's slight wind which makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, and that was a really good line. You know, straight coming into middle, doesn't give you any room to sort of do anything.
Mhm.
So, but again, there's lots of gaps there. So I know he's trying to hit boundaries and find some form, but again, just get off strike. Let Brendan take the majority of the strike until you sort of start to feel more comfortable.
Absolutely, and I think Ashbourne would be looking at this scenario and saying, when one person is batting, let's say Sahil, let's not give him a single, keep him on strike as much as possible. It's a beautiful shot.
It was a good ball actually, but it was just dispatched nicely. It was just probably a bit too full. I can't see from this angle whether it was a full toss or just an attempted
was a
Yorker.
full toss.
Yeah, but yeah, you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to bowl that Yorker so there's no room for Brendan to get underneath it. Unfortunately, if you get it wrong, you paid a price. But don't take it away. It was a great shot.
So Brendan has moved to 22 of 21 and Pembroke are 32 without a loss.
Nice. It's just a start that their captain, Gordon Clark, would have wanted. Wickets in the shed.
Yep. Oh, it's a beautiful ball.
See, there's a single there every day.
Yeah. It's a good ball actually, and Brendan played with soft hands, so quickly gave the strike to Sahil, who has to play one more ball from the bowler. It's what he needs to realize right now is there's no need to take unnecessary risks. There is a boundary at the over which he's got already. There are 3 singles, that's 7 runs and over. So just play the ball on the merit.
Yeah. Tented slower ball, I think, that one.
Yeah. Slightly moved away, and Sahil tries to get it for a drive but couldn't.
Yeah, so at the end of the end of the 7th over, there's 33 runs on the board for the loss of no wickets. It's good start. Almost, what's that? About just over 4.5 and over.
Yep, absolutely. That's 4.5 and an over.
But the main thing is there's 10 wickets still in the shed, so that gives, as the game ebbs and flows, that's going to give a good, a good momentum. So if there's still those wickets in the shed in 10 overs, well, who knows what fireworks could happen then.
Yep.
It's Cujo. Yep.
We've got a Brighton supporter going around.
Yep.
Oh, that shaped well.
Yeah.
I think of all the bowlers who have bowled today, the most impressive bowler for me has been Sudhakaran, who's currently bowling. He's been able to take the ball both in and outside, and he's actually making the batsman think, do I go for the drive or do I just stand back and slash at him? And he's not giving half volleys quickly.
Well, that was a good ball.
Yeah.
A dot ball was always a good ball as well, but unfortunately, just off. He was lucky to get away with that, actually.
Yeah, and he actually stopped with his feet. And I think that's an important lesson for a lot of fast bowlers. If the ball is hit straight back at you, be very careful of putting your feet.
Yeah.
Because the one near your ankle, that hurts, and that hurts bad.
And you could hear absolutely. So you don't want to twist an ankle and put yourself out for the season, but sometimes it's just reflex. But Brendan was a bit frustrated there, didn't get it. Ooh.
Was there an edge? Why were the players appealing?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a bit of wishful thinking. I think anything that's remotely...
I think Graham on the sides has said that there was an edge, and that's why.
Yeah, sorry, people. I'll stop talking next time. Anyway, here he comes again.
Oh, that's misjudged. That was there to be caught, but misjudged by Ashbourne fielders, and Brendan quickly sneaks in for the second. Slightly uppish, risky, but risk is the name of the game in T20.
Well, that's right. You know, you're sort of getting close to the, you know, you got a third of the overs done. You've only got 35 in the ball, which is still respectable, but, you know, you want to keep that scoreboard ticking over and
Yes.
keep, you know, and get those boundaries. Plus, he's in good form. Oh, it's it.
jinxed
Beautiful
it.
ball. Yeah, I know. Yep. And
Credit to the bowler, actually. He bowled an absolute peach. I mean,
Yep.
Brendan played across the line, missed the swing completely. Here we can see in the replay.
Oh, it was a lovely ball. Played it down the wrong line. Like you say, across the line there, took the eye off the ball. But Ashbourne would be absolutely delighted with that.
Yeah, I
And,
think they've been rewarded for their
Oh,
beautiful
that's a beautiful
bowling.
ball.
Yeah.
It sort of swung in late,
Yes.
got through the gate. Yes, perseverance.
Pays off.
So it looks like Bruce Whaley's coming out to bat. He's a very accomplished young man for his age. He can hit the ball very hard and very long. Has no fear. So it's always interesting to see him come out, and I think he'll just try and get that run rate moving a bit faster.
Absolutely. And I think Captain Gordon Clark of Pembroke would have realized that, fine, we've got a decent start. Now time to build on it.
Yeah. Good opportunity for a young man here.
Yes.
It's going to be a good test as well. All these bowlers from Ashbourne have been very impressive in what they can do with the ball. They've got good speed as well.
And interestingly, he takes a middle stump card, which means he's looking to go for it from ball one.
I think it's just in the way he plays his natural game.
Oh, that's well played.
Yep.
So Sudhakaran has got the breakthrough which Ashbourne were looking for, and it's 9 overs gone, 35 for 1. Sorry, 8 overs gone, 35 for 1.
Yep. Well, I think that's it's good there by Bruce, actually, just to defend that ball. Have a look. Try and get, you haven't got much time to get used to the conditions, but, if it's not there to be hit, don't hit it. Anyway, yeah, it's like you say, it's a good breakthrough. Now, responsibility will fall to Sahil to step up now. And I think...
We have the previous bowler, Gash, who's returning for his second over. Left arm, medium pace. That'll do a world of good for Sahil. Full toss, right underneath his bat. Swings it across mid-wicket for a 4.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ashbourne, it was a pretty poor delivery. That's, again, probably just trying that Yorker length and not quite getting there.
I think this is the second time the bowler has bowled the same ball, and both the times the batsman has hit for 4. I think what he needs to realize is Pembroke are slightly under pressure, not give them easy runs, and just tighten the screws a little bit, because these are the times where it's a real test for the batsman and the bowler as well.
Well, he needs to look at his field as well. He's got a pretty attacking offside field. There you go. But it got through the gap there as well, and it's going to go to the boundary. Two
Fine.
consecutive boundaries.
Absolutely. I think Sahil has finally found his nick. And he's pierced the gap beautifully. If you look at it, he's got a mid-off, a point and a gully and a cover. So it's 4 fielders on the offside, and he's pierced both cover and point.
Yeah, beautiful placement in that one. It was just a glorious thing to watch. Yeah, he's back, so which is great from a Pembroke point of view. Now, I guess it's pretty straightforward from Ashbourne. Just bowl that tight line now.
Oh, that's actually a good ball. I
That's
think-
the one. Yep, that's the one. You need to keep bowling those sorts of deliveries.
Yeah, those are the kind of balls where you can't drive. And, that's a previous boundary which Sahil hit across the mid-wicket for 4. So that's a full toss. Have to be said, deserve to be punished, and he put it away.
Well, in a T20, especially with quality sides like both of these two, you know that the batsman's going to inevitably have a big swing.
Yeah.
So if you bowl that really tight line, like that previous ball, it was a good length as well, then it cramps up the batsman, so all the risk is with the batsman to try and manufacture a shot. So don't try anything different, just try and maybe occasionally do a variation, but if you bowl that line, wow, you'll save some. He's a slow ball.
Just gets the bottom edge, runs behind the keeper, and quickly run for a single. And I completely agree with you, James. I think if you look at the best T20 bowlers, they follow the test match line of bowling, which is slightly outside the off stump on a good length, hard length as we call it, and make the batsman play those shots which he isn't comfortable. So let him manufacture one.
Yeah, they either have to step back and have a big swing, which, you can lose your eye line on the ball, or, lose your shape. All sorts of things can happen.
Just short of the mid-on fielder, and that's overthrow.
That's a silly throw, actually.
Yeah.
There was no one there at the wicket to take it. Overthrows there. Gets Bruce off the mark, but almost, hit that too hard to actually get a run. But, anyway, that's just a bit of nerves, I suppose. And but
So it's 9 overs gone, 45 for 1.
Well, the umpires, there's scorers are saying there's one to come, but the umpires have called over. So, interesting.
Yeah. So umpires' decisions are always final.
No, Graham just wasn't loud enough, quick enough.
All right, it is what it is. Yeah. So, if a team loses or wins by one run, there might be a bit of controversy, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Bowls again. Oh, just trying again to get that line and just went straight a bit too wide there.
Absolutely, and I think Sudhakaran has been the most impressive bowler as of now. He's getting the ball to move outside and inside simultaneously. So even I think he foxed Bruce a bit because the ball moved away in the last minute, and the ball was there to be hit, to be fair, but just moved away.
I mean, if he's going to bowl that line, I'd like to see him bring in a slip, or like a second or third slip maybe.
That's the shot which Bruce was trying for the previous ball, and he's got a man there. Yes, James, I do agree that I think he could have not a third man, but a third man inside the circle, a fine third man.
Well,
He's a little closer.
He's got one already. That's you can just see him now. He's in front of the hedge.
He's too away. He has to be in the angle because the ball is moving outside. So the batsman anyway is slashing at him.
In some ways, Bruce is hitting. That's a lovely shot.
Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful shot. So that was, I would say, shot of the day as of now.
That's a beautiful drive, wasn't it? Just front foot down, head over the ball, went through it with his hands and cracked it out of the middle of the bat. Beautiful to watch. Here we go. The replay. Look at this. Crack.
I think if you're a young batsman watching it, that's exactly how you need to pierce two fielders. Watch the ball, get your head in line, move your feet, and balance. That's the word which we are looking for.
Yeah.
Balance is the word.
Yeah, it was just a graceful shot. Well done, Bruce. This brings another vital 4, and the 50's up for Pembroke. So they will be delighted. Good milestone hit. And it's only in the start of the 10th over. Oh, that's beautifully seen onto the bat and just worked away around his on the leg side.
For 4. And who said T20 is all about power? That is finesse for you.
Well, yeah, that's just smartly using the pace of the ball, wasn't it? He just worked it away. Didn't actually put it, a lot of oomph in himself. Let the ball do the work, and he kept it down.
And to be fair to him, he was quickly in position as soon as the bowler released the ball. If you look at it, see, he's very quickly in position, just flicked it. Yeah,
he's a class player, and he's going to be a player for Pembroke that it's going to be interesting to see over the next couple of years how he develops, because so far so good. He's looking really good, and he's handy. He's handy with the ball as well.
And a gun fielder. That's beautifully hit, but straight to the fielder. And Bruce would be thinking, did I miss out on that? Because the ball was there to be hit, but good fielding.
Absolutely, but what I liked about that was that it was along the ground. It wasn't really a risky shot. You'd just be disappointed that he didn't get through to a gap there, but it was a lovely shot.
Sudhakaran steaming into ball.
Oh,
Well cut for 4. I think Bruce has decided that there is no more hanging around. I'm just going to go for it.
well, I think that's Bruce's natural game. Actually, it's the fact that he just and he hits it hard. So if you're going to hit the ball, slash hard. The old and there was a man out there for that shot, but he hit it well enough to go over that man's head. So it was like a backward point or a deep gully or whatever you want to call it.
So that's 3 boundaries in this over. Expensive from Nishat Sudhakaran.
Yeah, I just think he needs to tighten up that line, of course, because he showed in his previous over that that's too wide. Well, he's going to be called. No, the umpire thinks that's okay.
Yeah, just moved inside the line. I think we have change in commentary. Craig Senior will replace me.
Well, thanks, Prashanth. 10 overs up now. 1 down for 58, or 58 for the loss of 1. Depends on which part of the world you come from. Bruce Whaley's steamed up to 13 off 8, and I'll just get back to you on the rest of it. So he's catching up, 16 off 25. Yeah, I'm sure that gap in strike rate will be shortened pretty soon. And I'd just like to welcome Craig Senior for the first time today.
Good afternoon, James. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, the Ashbourne's bowling figures there. Good start for Pembroke.
Yeah, they're now finding their rhythm. Both these 2 batsmen are looking pretty good out there and pretty comfortable.
Well, it's close to a run of ball for the first 10. Let's see how Pembroke go in this second 10 on what is a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Pembroke. And, well,
Oh, he knocked it over for 4. He's been given.
well, that just shows he was slightly in the wrong place and his hands weren't really there. It just ricocheted off them. It would have been extremely unlucky for Sahil if that had actually been taken.
Yeah.
He wasn't set on the ground, the fielder. It burst through his hands. 4 more to Pembroke, and that does take them over a runner ball.
Oh, that's a nice shot. Sort of trying to split the field there, straight over the bowler's head. Just concedes a single, though, but it was a lovely shot.
It almost deserved more just for the aesthetics of that shot.
Absolutely.
But he just gets a single, and that takes a score on 63 off 62 deliveries. And that brings the freewheeling Bruce Whaley to the wicket. He's not going to let many go by, is he?
No, I mean, that's just the natural way he plays. Yep.
Well, that's Sahil's big hit. He must have thought he was in trouble. And you can see it's just come off the palm of the right hand. He just didn't get his hands in the right place. And he was in the air as well, which also
makes it very difficult.
Well, nigh on impossible, I found at training the other night. But there you go.
Yeah, just probably, obviously, 2 or 3 steps in from the rope than what he needed to be. But, no, there was nothing to appeal there.
Umpire deciding that one wasn't. I thought I heard wood. To be
So
honest
did
with
I.
you.
That's what I mean. Look, there was nothing worth appealing on that. But anyway, everyone gets caught up in the emotion of the game sometimes, and
well, it's the passion we like.
Absolutely, it's great to see that with Ashbourne.
Bruce Whaley looking to just drop one onto the leg side. There's no close fielder there, and if he gets it just past the wicket keeper's reach, then it will be the easiest of singles, just to jog through and keep rotating the strike.
I can really feel that these 2 batsmen have gone up a gear. They've got halfway now, and not that they were being cautious earlier, but I can feel that they're going to try and probably play the odd more rash shot just in the hope it goes off. You ride your luck a bit. Oh, that's God. Oh, he put it down. He'll be absolutely distraught.
Well, he hangs his head on his hands and knees. The fielder, he's most unfortunate there. He came forward. He got his hands to it again, but it just bounced out of his hands. He didn't close his fingers around the ball, and it fell to the ground. And I'd say the most surprised person on the ground there was Bruce Whaley.
Oh, absolutely. I think Bruce would almost be starting the run to the change room because the fielder made great ground, got there, and I thought, oh, no, it's going to be a reasonably simple catch. And unfortunately just, didn't get in exactly right position.
Here
Took
we
his
go.
off.
It was a lovely shot from Bruce, but unfortunately it had picked out the fielder. He came a couple of yards, got himself set, even gave up with his knees, but it just, again, seemed to come off the palm of the hand and find the turf. Bruce Whaley lives on, and he's now on strike for the new over. The score after 11, 64 for 1. Brendan Ferris got a good ball, didn't he?
He did. That was a lovely, that was a lovely delivery. If you're a bowler, if you're a batsman, it's like, oh, please no.
Just seemed to play down the wrong line there.
He did. But it was a very good receiving ball. That bowler was very talented. Or is very talented, I should say. Anyway, Pembroke took up another single.
Good to see Bruce and Sahil taking the first one so quickly. If there was any chance of a fumble out there in the field, they'd have been onto a second straight away. And that's what you need in this T20. It's not just the boundaries. It's turning ones into twos.
Forgot to say it's a bowling change. Oh, that's half tracker.
Well,
He's hit it. Is he going to get... No. Oh.
well, you might say that he saved a run there, but that was up there an awful long time. And the fielder, again, he put his hand up above his head. And I find that if once your hands go above your eye level, you have very little control over taking that catch.
That was in the air for an age. I thought he had enough time to get there. He's going to try that again. But this time he got more on it. He's gone for 6.
Well, didn't he judge that distance perfectly? Fielder right on the rope, and it fell to the fence behind him.
Yeah, if there was another 10 yards in this ground, I think that would have been straight down his throat.
Another 2 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually hit the fence on the full.
Yep. Yeah, it only just went above his head. Anyway, I guess if you're going to ride your luck, ride your luck.
Well, that's taken the run rate right up now. And you can tell Sahil now is not hanging around.
No, I mean, I suppose, 9 wickets in the shed.
Yep, absolutely.
Why wouldn't you have a go?
If Charlie Verplank was with us now, he'd be saying that Sahil has stepped into the batter's box.
Yes. He would. There it goes again. And this is
Well-
even a bigger 6. This has gone into the stratosphere.
Well, the old saying, if it had gone any further, it might have needed its passport with it. So into the gardens of Park Avenue. Super shot from Sahil. Another 6 onto the total. And suddenly Pembroke are on the brink of 80.
This young bowler, Gowder, his first over, he's really losing this battle with unfortunately, from his point of view, I think he just needs to sort of regroup and to say, okay, I know the line I'm going to have to bowl, even if I slow it down for a bit, but I can't let him get underneath it.
Yeah, and he's just letting Sahil just lift these, really.
Well, I think he's lost confidence. I mean, those last 2, I think, were full tosses. Look at this. Oh,
It's just left
right
hanging
in
up there. And
Yeah.
Sahil, once again, well, he's not going to miss out on that.
I mean, that was 8.
Yeah.
It went so far. So, again, just maybe his captain needs to have or someone needs to have a word in his ear to say, just relax.
Relax and use the dance floor.
Yeah, use the dance floor, bowl that offside line.
Well, here he goes again. That's better. Sahil,
Oh, yes.
premeditated, swinging for the fences. And that concludes what is the 12th over. And the score, 79 for 1. Well, let's play our game. Let's call on our first commentator today, Eli. Final total.
8 overs left. I'm going to say 161.
Eli is going with a final total of 161. Ask Graham there, would you? 137.
I think 155.
155. James?
145. I'll be in the middle.
Whoa.
Ish.
Yeah. I'm going to go, what are we on? 80 off 12. Oh, I think I'm going to go 185.
Good. I'm glad we've got a good spread there. I'm hoping it's going to be 185.
175.
Oh, go on.
I'm safe with 175.
Don't back out now.
I'm not interfering, I'm not interfering with anyone else's guess there. But I just feel somebody today is going to go big. It seems to be good batting conditions.
Oh, that was a beautiful ball. We've got another bowling change, by the looks of it.
I'm going
Valaga.
never bet against a Pembroke collapse. 120.
Well, just check with the scorer. Is Valanga actually called for Valanga, or is he filling in for somebody? He is.
Either way, it was a good start to his over. It was. Here we go. Oh,
Oh, just wide of the fielder, in close. One felt a full-length dive, might have got his hand to it.
but again, yes, I know. It's just fingertips out.
Once
6
again,
inches to his
it's
his
really,
left.
Really nice being down at this end of the ground now. I do feel the quality of the pictures is just absolutely fabulous. It shows off Pembroke to its best.
Oh, it's beautiful with the white background behind. It's like having a massive sight screen amongst everyone.
I
It's
said good luck reading the comments. James might just about manage to read them.
Oh, right, yes. We have live chat comments today. I was chatting with Niall yesterday.
well, a Pembroke member from last year, Ryan O'Neill, has kindly put in the chat. Come on, Bruce. And I think everyone from the Pembroke camp would be saying the same thing.
Keep going.
Good opportunity for the young man to be there at the end and get a good score.
Scoring at a runner ball already, and some of those scoring shots have been, well, delicious.
Yeah. In some ways, he's a bit of a victim of his own success and the fact that he hits it so well that sometimes he hits it too well and you can't get a single.
Well, he gets 4 for that one. That's shot of the day for me.
Oh, that's-
Anyone else? Shot of the day?
It's equal. I think
Yeah,
the cover drive he did earlier
yeah. The first shot he played cover drive.
Well,
was
there you
beautiful. Either way, they're both. But that's definitely a second in my book. That was beautiful.
go. That's a super 4. The score moves on to 84 for 1. And Bruce, just with that shot, is indeed ahead of a runner ball, as is Sahil.
Oh, nice. Just this time works it for a single. Pretty much on the same line, but just runs it along the ground.
Well, isn't that the sign of his maturity? How many times after seeing a beautiful shot for 4 or 6, you see the batsman go for exactly the same thing again and cause themselves troubles? But here he played the ball on its merits, played it out to the space and took his single.
Something I've noticed about Bruce is, as you say, last season it would have just been a run fest. Like I'm just going to try and hit the ball like that. Was that a 6?
Well, I think the umpire has signalled 4.
4, okay.
I think the fielder signalled 4. The umpire also signals 4. It's gone down in the book as 4, so we'll call that
A 4.
a 4.
But I was just saying about Bruce. Like you're right. Last time, he was always into fireworks, just going for the big shot every time. And sometimes it'll pay off, and sometimes, of course, you go out for not very much. But I think he's learnt this season, even quite quickly, that use all the shots in your repertoire. Play the ball on its merits.
Yeah, absolutely. He has the skill level, there's no doubt. My goodness, doesn't he spend many a happy hour in the nets honing those skills?
Yeah, if they could just put a little sort of shed with a bed in it for him, he'd probably never leave. Yeah, change of bowler by the looks of it. I think they're bringing the opener bowler back. Is that right? Oh, it is a new bowler. Sorry, I thought that I misunderstood what the umpire was saying. Anyway, new bowler. Good move by Ashbourne, I think. If they're seeing it very well, then you don't have very much time and very many overs left to sort of play around. So he's bringing the field in. So he's going to try and cut off these singles, make him go over the top, and hopefully get a catching opportunity from Ashbourne's point of view.
Well, Ashbourne have a man at deep square leg, a man out here in Cow Corner just in front of us, or in front of the scorer actually, and they have a man down at deep third man. Their covers fielder is neither back nor forward.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's there.
Bruce takes on the arm. Is it going to be close? No, it's not. Well judged. He turns a 1 into a 2, and that's the sort of batting that makes a big difference to your final total.
That's great pace. He actually made that very comfortably in the end. Sahil had his doubts, but no, Bruce scored it through and he had conviction. Oh,
Well, that's just class again. It's one bounce, and it bounces into the sight screen. Or just, yep. And that's a super shot from Bruce Whaley. He's taking this attack, a liking to it anyway. Here's the replay. Nice form. Doesn't make his mind up, waits for the ball, plays it on its merit, sees it's in the slot and hits it so straight it hits the sight screen. Sahil, well, he goes up to congratulate Bruce.
Ashbourne just moved a fielder from that location onto the circle, so they've pushed him back by the looks of it.
Well, you would, wouldn't you?
Yep. Oh, gets an edge. Went straight to the fielder, bounced around the fielder there. Didn't quite know where it was for a second, but no run. So a well-needed dot ball from Ashbourne's point of view. Oh, very wide.
Just cracked straight to the fielder on the offside. He couldn't get any real power into it because it was the toe of the bat, because he did have to reach that far.
Probably should let that one go and see what happened, but you know,
In the umpire we trust.
yes. Oh, that's beautifully whipped off the legs.
It will only be a single, but it's a class shot.
Yeah, unfortunately from Bruce's point of view that he picked out the fieldsman there, but yeah, it was lovely. Just a quick work the wrists, just flicked it off his legs, let the ball do all the work. Beautiful timing.
Well, it is a glorious day here at Sydney Parade. If you are in the area, it's well worth coming down. I see Eamon Fitzpatrick and Marissa Whaley sitting on the wall. They look like they're going to settle down for a bit of sunshine and cricket. They're here to watch Bruce at the moment, certainly. Well, that's 14 overs gone. There was just 8 off that over. The score has moved on to 97 for 1. And every commentator and one scorer still very much in the game of what's the final score going to be. There is live text on YouTube if you want to add your total, what you think it will be. There's no prize, but we will give you a shout. A for guessing and B for being brilliantly and getting it right if you do.
Well, Ryan O'Neill has put in his estimation. He believes it will be a score of 148.
Oh, we'll write that down.
Thank you, Ryan. That's
ruined James's guess.
yeah, it's 3 more than what I've got, so I'll be following that one closely. Big shout out to the O'Neill family. Now, Sahil has moved on to 40 off 34, so he's made great progress in catching up on the strike rate. Bruce has moved on to 27 from 23, so their captain, Gordon Clark, would be delighted at the moment. If these two stay in, I think he'll be getting closer to Craig's score.
Well,
Oh,
good length. Good length. Got Sahil playing over the top of it. It's a dot ball, and it's what his captain and what Ashbourne need at the moment just to bring this run rate back.
yeah, and that's a nice wide Yorker.
6.85 at the moment. Getting close to 7, which will bring the scores up to about 140. Your 145 is still very much in play.
Oh, is a man there. It should be taken, and it is taken. And that's a heel finally falls to a catch in the deep.
Well, he went big. Unfortunately, he has to go home. Fielder there, well, he set himself properly. He got to it. Well, it's a big wicket for Pembroke, and you feel that Sahil has missed out on a half century here, but he was chasing the runs for the good of his team, and he's ended up back in the hutch for 40. Well, here it is now. It is a nice shot.
Oh, it's a beautiful
Just
shot.
Not enough power in it. I like the way Bruce is 2/3 of the way down the track before Sahil even looks, and Sahil is watching, and you see the bowler's celebration. This will be the camera angle for the fielder. He'll be replaying this part.
Actually, it was really well caught in the end. He got there.
So well set, got his body behind it, so even if his hands had failed, he was hoping that his thighs would succeed.
Yeah, he backed himself there and he got the reward. And Ashbourne would be delighted with that. That's a breakthrough that would give them a lot of relief. They'd feel like, oh, that's probably going to save us 20 runs.
Well, new batsman to the crease, Stu McDonald.
Immediately off the mark.
Well, he's looking for 2 straight away. I tell you, Stu, free-flowing batsman himself. He's returned to Pembroke this year, and it's great to see him back.
Yeah. And, great to see that seems to be in good form. He ran that first single really, really fast, actually. Got back to the second run really, really comfortably. Oh, because of the big wind up there.
Well, he's trying to cut that one away. Past, well, down to wide third man.
Yeah.
Orthodox third man fielding in front of us.
Cut shot's always a very difficult shot. I always find that for the amount of times you attempt it,
Well, the amount of times we
reattempt it, the percentage rate is pretty low on return. Oh, that's better.
I do feel that having watched McBrien and Adair playing for Ireland in Lords over the weekend, they were quite adept at that sort of run it down to third man, lift it over the keeper.
Yeah, I think they've done it one or two times more than probably what some other batsmen have.
Bit more practice at that.
Yeah, fraction more. I think it's not just Wednesday night nets for them. I think. Anyway, we digress. The bowler comes in again.
Beautifully clipped away off his legs by Bruce Whaley.
You're looking for two. Want to
The
get Bruce.
fielder trying to play football with it. He's had a couple of attempts to stop it, but it lets them get through for two. And that is the end of the 15th over. Pembroke have moved on to 102 for 3. And we'll have a change in the commentary box. James Cresswell, thank you very much, James.
Thank you very much, all.
And we will welcome into the box Eli. Just while we're doing that,
Going first.
Hello, Craig. How are you?
good afternoon, Eli. Well, there's the Pembroke card so far. What do you make of that?
Well, I feel like Brendan and Sahil got off to a good start. Brendan getting 25, just building a good platform. Even though it was just less than a run or more than a run of ball, it's still important to get the run straight away.
Well, we'd like to point out that as much as we have the Pembroke card in, we find it very unlikely that Justin Doherty will be coming in at number 5. I think the automatic scoring has taken over there. Well, that's the batting so far. We'll have a look at the bowling in a little while. As Baby to continue from the St John's end.
That's a great shot from Stuart McDonald. It's going to go all the way for 6. It's a beautiful shot over.
Well, that is a super 6. That's
just out of the top drawer from Stu. He's brought in at 4 for a reason, because he can hit a big ball, and he's just shown that.
Well, he is indeed. Bit of power in that one. Found the sight screen. The umpire checking the ball for damage. Score moves on to 108 for 2. And suddenly, with just these last 5 overs to go. Oh, he's got big. He's coming towards us.
Into the commentary box again.
It's actually gone into the media centre through the slot in the front. It bounced right beside our cameraman. My goodness, that's a shot and a half. Well, perhaps we said something Stu didn't like on commentary. What do you think, Eli?
I don't know. He decided to go all out with the 6s. The super 6. They mid on up, and Stu recognised that. Nearly hit Niall. Niall trying to stop that.
Well, a little bit of production anxiety there. That was coming very close to us.
Yeah, 12 from 2 balls. This really puts the pressure on the bowler, because Stu can even just knock it around for 4 singles, and that's 16 off the over.
Well, do you think he's going to knock around 4 singles now?
Somehow I don't think so. Well, Bruce is also well capable of hitting a big ball, as we've seen. Stu's just going to knock that one into the leg side. They're going to push for 2. The call is no. And just a single brings Bruce Whaley back on strike.
Well, this assault, and it is nothing but an assault on the bowling by Stu McDonald.
It's a no ball. Looks like it's been front, no ball.
So, once the scorer acknowledges the signal, the no ball goes into the book. It will go onto the board, and the run rate now is getting up to 7.5, and Pembroke are looking good for 150 plus. Already 13, 14 off this. over now.
Yes, very good start, and effectively only 2 balls gone because of the no ball. Bruce, big shot down to cow corner. It'll race away for 4. 18 from its the over so far.
Well, this is power hitting by the Pembroke duo in the middle. I'm telling you now, it's a beautiful Sunday. There's a little breeze. There's a bit of heat alongside the wall. It's worth coming down to watch this. This is Pembroke cricket. Bruce Whaley and Stu McDonnell, well, they're doing exceptionally well at the moment.
You're so right, Craig. They're showing their full potential on what they can do at these type of overs. Bruce goes again, doesn't get as much this time. It's still going to race away. It'll go for 4 again, 22 from the over. This is great batting from the 2 Pembroke people in the middle.
Well, 2 6s, 2 4s, and also a no ball where the batsman changed ends. So Bruce is specialising in 4s, where Stu McDonnell was specialising in 6s. Well, I don't think they mind either way. Big over for Pembroke.
Bruce again, it's a great shot, but it's straight to the fielder who takes it, and Bruce has played a very nice innings so far.
Well, that's a cracking shot from Bruce Whaley. It rocketed, but the fielder was there. He went down on one knee. He took it safely and securely, and that is the end of a super knock of 37 for Bruce Whaley. The score now, 1-2-4 for 3.
You can see Bruce just gave himself a little bit of room to allow him to hit over there. Just didn't manage to clear extra cover, and all the Pembroke players clapping Bruce off after a great innings, 37 off around 28 balls.
24 balls
24
it took.
balls.
And there you go. There's the straight 6 from Stewie.
And Bruce just looked.
Oh, my word.
Whoa,
You
what's
can
happened there?
because it hit the side screen, and that's where the camera is. And you can see he's made the camera shudder. It's the first time I've seen that. And it hits right
Wow.
on the panel that the camera is mounted on.
Well, it's Naveen Mali Patel who is coming in to bat at number 5 for Pembroke. He'll look to have a nice little cameo here. There's a 6 that's due nearly a hit our commentary area.
There's the one that nearly took us out.
Oh, that one just kept low. Naveen anticipating that might bounce up a little bit, but it didn't. Dot ball. And it ends a good over for Pembroke. Not sure exactly how much from it, but it's a lot. Also, the wicket has fallen of Bruce Whaley. It brings in Naveen to the crease.
22 off the over. It was a good over for Pembroke. The score now 1-2-4 for 3. Well, Naveen Mali Patel. Well, I hear a buzzsaw in the background. Somebody's doing some gardening. I think that's hedge cutting or lawn
Something.
mowing.
Something to do with.
Bowler number 4 returns now.
This is.
Oh, here we go. No, showing the right replay, hopefully, as the field is reset for the bowling. This is the one that
Lands just in front of the camera. Wow, that's a great piece of work from Niall there.
That was close. There's no doubt about that. I have to say, I was a bit anxious. I didn't know whether to protect the box.
Or myself.
I thought here, I was just going to stand up, but I was worried what I was going to take out in standing up.
I didn't leave the chair.
No, you've judged it perfectly.
But it was like, can I get it on the bounce?
No, it was too low for you. The bounce wasn't high enough. Right, Stu McDonnell facing the new bowler, Gash.
Hit that away. They get a single.
Oh, it pierced the ring. The fielder on the boundary stops it after that. And now Naveen, he's at this. He'll be facing the bowling of Gash from the nursery end. I now have to think about it because I'm in a different place. And that's the nursery end and that's the St John's end.
Well, Naveen is a very, very good all-rounder. Bowls very good spin, and he's a very handy batter.
Well, I'll find out about the batting now. He's facing.
Gash, who's gone for 17 off 2.1 overs. Naveen's face here.
Well, that's a lovely shot, but again, the fielder on the boundary will pick that up. It's just a single. It brings Stu McDonald back onto strike.
Pembroke don't really need to take that much.
Did you hear that bee in your headphones?
No.
Bee went over by the Dugan and everything, and I heard it in my head and I was looking around to see where it was here. Those ground microphones do such a good job.
And the bowler backside of that one obviously maybe messed up his run-up or something.
Perhaps we were talking during his run-up. Bit of a crowd starting to build here now at Sydney Parade.
Oh, hit on the pads.
It was pitched outside leg, was going down leg. Even the bowler didn't appeal for that one, and it lets them get through for one leg by. 1, 2, 6. Have we got anybody yet? No?
Yeah, me.
What did you say?
You didn't write mine down.
What did you say?
I came in at the end and said, never back against a Pembroke.
Oh, yeah,
That's
121.
You have little faith.
So 121. No,
Commentators curse and all that. You
Niall disappears. The collapso Pembroke that he was thinking about didn't happen.
Quick run opted there for Pembroke. Fielder does okay
Oh,
with the
look
poor
at
throw and
that.
overthrows. So Pembroke scamper through for 2. Good awareness from Stu and Naveen. Someone
Well,
should have been backing that up even though it wasn't a particularly quick throw.
the bowler didn't get back to his stumps. The ball ran past, and the fielders on the leg side are all on the boundary. That allowed another run.
Just chipped up in the air out to long off. A single for Naveen. Just going good, Pembroke here.
Well, today at the interval, we'll bring all 4 commentators together. We'll have a little chinwag about how the first innings has gone.
Yep. Well, 6
And
from the over so far.
Niall, no doubt, will bring us beautiful pictures of the middle. Nicely dropped down to third. Oh, the footboy's kicked it past his
That
teammate.
could run away. The field does well in the end, but it's not ideal fielding. He tries to stop it with his foot, just deflects it. The fielder,
You'd
bit
have
of
thought he was-
miscommunication
You'd
there.
have thought he was going past a left back down in the city ground, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Make it 3-0 Arsenal.
Now that ends a good over from Pembroke. 7 from it, I think it was. Oh, 8 from it actually. And there was really no risk in that over, and they still got 8 from it.
Well, I'll give you a quick look at the Ashbourne bowling. Oh, that's wrong.
Bowler number 3 coming in.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, I tried. I failed. We'll try that again. Every day's the school day here.
You learn something new every day.
You do
even
indeed.
as an adult.
Especially as an adult. More willing to learn it.
And as when you go, ooh, quick, no, I better get back. They take their time.
Yeah.
They don't.
Isn't that always the way?
Well, it is going to be Naveen, so be on strike. He's going to look to maybe get a boundary on the first ball to pile the pressure on Ashbourne. 132,
Sudhash Karan
3 overs to go.
is bowling from the St John's end for Ashbourne. And he goes down the leg side to start with. The umpire allows him to get away with that. What you looking for? Oh, next guess.
I feel
Graham.
like Prashant might be.
Graham's getting close now. His 132 is under threat.
I feel like Prashant with 155 could be in a good position here.
Mind you, there are only 17 balls left now. Let's see
18 because that was a wide. Was it a wide?
No.
Oh.
Well, Naveen tries to get inside that one and lift it over to the gardens. All he does is succeed in lifting it 20 yards away from him. It lets him get through for the single, but it does bring the dangerous Stu McDonald on strike. He's on 19 off 9. That's good striking.
Wow. Naveen just clubbed that really, didn't get a hold of it, but brings on the danger man, Stu McDonald, who can hit all over the park. The shorter one, he chipped it up in the air, just wide of the fielder. They'll only get 1.
Well, he chipped it round square leg. It would have been a very simple catch indeed for the umpire. He let it go and it rolled out to deep square leg and let them get the single. And the run's still flying for Pembroke. 134 now. Graham Mooney, the scorer, his guess is 137. And then after him, we're into James and Ryan. Any more? Nothing more on the live.
That's going to be a wide
Link.
out of Naveen's reach, and that's going to be an extra ball for Pembroke, maybe an extra ball for Ashbourne to get a wicket, or another dot ball. Well, it's important as a bowler to focus on the next ball, not the ball you've just bowled. If you got hit for a 4 or even got a wicket, as soon as you get to the top of your mark, you focus on the very next ball.
Another wide. Again, outside Naveen's reach.
Well, as a bowler, sometimes you see bowlers maybe overcompensate a little bit, but he's kept that outside off and again out of Naveen's reach. 2 wides in this over, 2 back-to-back, so Pembroke won't mind that at all. 136, the score moves on to
Back
full
again.
toss, and he doesn't get all of it. He'll run away, they'll get 2, maybe even more. Goes all the way to the boundary, but the fielder does well to recover and they'll get 2. Naveen probably would have hoped he could have capitalised on that. The full toss probably just got the toe of it. 5 from it so far. With 2 to go. Naveen on strike again. Nice shot. They'll get scamper 3 for a single. Bring Stu McDonald on strike for the last ball of the 18th over.
Well, 7 off this over so far. Becca Gallagher came in with a guess of 182. Well, with 2 overs to go, Becca, we don't know if that's going to be the right number. We'll see.
I feel like Prashant may be in this game at 155. It's a slower ball.
Wow.
That actually should be called no ball. It's gone off the pitch. You don't see that often, but it's good to see the variation of a slower ball. You don't see many of those nowadays.
Well, Graham Mooney's guess of 137 falls by the wayside. No, you don't get a second go.
Stu on strike again. Just
Well,
inside edge that. They'll maybe scamper 3 for 2.
no, the ball in the fielder's hands, quite rightly. Just take the single.
Get Stu
It's
back
there.
on strike. 2 overs to go. It's 141 for 3 with Stu on 22, I think, and Naveen 8.
Stu McDonald, 21 off 12. And Naveen, 8 off 8. He's doing exactly what he needs to do at this stage, which is run a ball and get Stu McDonald on strike as much as possible. We've seen the power of Stu. Stu has hit the sight screen.
Well, as you said, Naveen has played a very important role because some people might come in and think, I want to be the hero. I want to get us to 180 and try swing for the heavens, but
Slapped back down the field, and that's all it was, really.
did well to get anything on it. He to reach for it, try to give himself room. But they'll take a single, and that brings Naveen back on strike.
Many thanks to the 20 of you, or the 20 devices that are plugged into Pembroke Live YouTube at the moment.
We very much appreciate it, and we give a big thanks to Niall Walsh for
Nicely
allowing us.
played. It's out to the boundary in the offside. The fielder is there. He saves 3 runs, that's for sure. That was well cut out on the offside.
It's a great piece of fielding there, and may see a lot of people overrun that. It's great fielding. As you said, saves 3. That could be a big part of this game. Stu gives himself room over extra cover. That could all go all the way. It does. That is a magnificent shot from Stu. Gives himself room over extra cover. And
6 more onto the total. That
Alright.
takes it to 149.
and we're sorry, but Ryan O'Neill, if you're watching, and James Cresswell, your targets are all gone.
155 is the next one. And that will just leave your current commentators. Look at this, gives himself room.
It's a beautiful shot.
Look, it holds the pose. You know it's a good shot when it feels right and you feel balanced.
Pressure on the bowler. Slower ball. Stu doesn't really connect that well. Naveen, very quick. They get 2. That's great running. Bit of a misfield on the bowler. But Naveen, with all the pace to get 2 there. And 150 up for Pembroke.
Well, they're setting a good total here now. Still.
Slower ball again.
Another slower ball and the same result, really. And Naveen is going to think it's the same result as well.
Naveen turns him down, though, and only a single that time. Maybe hit it a bit harder that time, but Naveen will take the strike, being a good over for Pembroke. Of course, Stu with that 6 and a 2 in this over.
11 off 5 so far.
Oh, you see Naveen putting in the effort, running really hard. Just had to take a moment break there.
Just taking a breath.
Need to capitalise on this last ball. Slower ball again. Naveen, the beautiful shot. It's nearly a replica of Stu's 6 shot. And that goes all the way for 6. And that takes out Prashant's 155. And when I said 161, I didn't really think anything, but
You're gone. Well, this is it. Again, I like the way he waited on that.
Yes.
He didn't try and overhit it. He waited for it. He sort of saw it was a slower ball, but still waited and then just deposited it over to the clubhouse door.
that's the class of Naveen.
There we go. You can see the hesitation in the swing. He just delays it a second, and that allowed him to get underneath it instead of just putting it up in the air.
And there's,
Bowler number 6.
well, 158 at the moment with 6 balls to go. Pembroke would be looking to target maybe 170, 12 from the over.
Well, that was 16. 17 off the last over. If Pembroke could get a repeat of that, they would be delighted, as would I. That would put them on to 175. But 158 is a good score. They've only lost the 3 wickets, so there's no doubt that this will see 6 balls with probably 6 very big swings.
Well, Stu has done a great cameo so far, and have to talk about Naveen. 15 off 10. He's played a wonderful part in this Pembroke setting up a total. Just let Stu get on strike really and hit that wonderful 6. The slap down the ground. Will the fielder get there? I feel like he will. Their run to get to Naveen is very quick. Great running from Pembroke.
Well, that's certainly at least 3 extra runs we've seen Naveen get Pembroke at this stage just through his running.
And that could be 3 very vital runs in this chase, because Ashbourne are the division ahead of Pembroke. So it'll be a very, very interesting chase. This will be. Full inside edge onto his pad. They'll only get 1.
Well, you could tell Naveen was going no matter what happened, really.
Yeah, Naveen backing up well. That's what you need to do. You also need to be careful of the man cad.
161 the score. What are you looking for here now from Pembroke? 4 dot balls, is it, Eli?
As a Pembroke man, I'd hope for a bit more. And that's swung away. Oh, it's going to be dropped. And they'll look to get 2. Fielder just really didn't get to it.
He misjudged where it was coming down. He was well set, but unfortunately on the wrong part of turf. And that made the catch much more difficult. 2 more to Pembroke. There's 5 off this over. 3 balls remaining in this innings.
Naveen needs to get at least maybe a boundary from this last. Looks to scoop. Does it well, but straight up. And the keeper takes an easy catch. Naveen saw the field and saw fine leg up. It was a slower ball, I think, from the bowler. It's well bowled. It was quite obvious what Naveen was going to do. He went maybe a fraction too early.
Well, there are 2 balls left in this innings, and there's a change of batsman because of that shot. He just didn't get down enough And as a result, it just went straight in the air for the simplest of catches for the keeper.
Gonna
2
be-
balls remaining.
gonna
The
be-
score is 163 for 4.
Looks like
And
it's gonna
only,
be Bouchan, I think.
only 2 guesses remain. Becca with her 182, which may be a bit optimistic now.
Yeah.
And then me with my 175. So I've even got 12 runs to play with, even if it hits it for 2 sixes.
Here's Bouchan on strike. Come down the track. Slapped hard.
What?
It goes all the way for 6.
There's one of the 2 sixes. That
This-
takes the score to 169, and that's just what you want from somebody coming in with 2 balls to go, isn't it?
Yeah, he doesn't hit that with a lot of height. It's a very flat 6 from Bouchan, and he comes in at the right time. Now he can hit a good ball. 1 ball to go. 6 maybe for Craig. He's missed it. They'll look to run maybe.
Well, the suicide run doesn't pay off. He's left short of his ground. That's the end of the innings.
Well, it ends up capitalising. Good innings from Pembroke.
169 for 4 from their 20 overs. And that's a fine target they've set, Ashbourne.
And
There's the 6. I mean, first ball in. That's exactly what you want to do.
yeah, no need to get your eye in with 2 balls to go from Bouchan.
Well, and then this was it. Hesitation, running down the middle of the wicket. Oh,
Just
yes,
stopped
no,
for a
yes,
moment
no.
there.
Right, you know, he's so
Don't
far
think-
short of his
yeah,
ground.
Don't think it would have made a difference.
I don't think the hesitation would have made a difference. The fielder did the right thing. He just walked into the stumps and he took the bails off.
Well, shall we get?
Gentlemen, do you want to join us for a little group discussion about the first innings? Niall, have you got a highlights reel to...
Okay, you want to do that?
While the innings break, we'll have a little highlights reel and a chat with the 4 commentators, myself, Craig, Prashant and James.
So, James, what did you think of the first innings? 169 for 4.
Oh, well, I think anyone would take that if that was offered to them at the start of the game. That was a really impressive performance by all batsmen, actually. And they didn't ever look in any serious trouble. Thank you. I would have thought 145 was going to be a good score, and I think 169, 170 to win is going to be really tough to beat. So, well done, Pembroke. Ashbourne let a few catches go down. I think the fielding was not as good as what they needed it to be. And that's something they can work on. But they had a good bowling attack. Unfortunately for them, I think they just lost their way when the batsmen started to go after them. But it's going to be interesting to see. It's a good opportunity for Ashbourne as well. The ground's in great nick. You're going to get value for your shots. So I think we're in for a good contest.
And Prashant, you were impressed with some of the Pembroke batting there today?
Absolutely. I think the star for me today is Bruce Whaley. There's something beautiful about batsmen who have a lot of bottom hand and then they use their timing to perfection. I think we have to give credit to Sahil as well because initially he struggled and then he picked up the ante and then Bruce joined him for the party. But Stuart MacDonald, what an innings. It's 18 ball, 34.
Yes, he certainly provided the impetus to the Pembroke innings just when they needed it, and it's enabled them to set this imposing total. How do you think Ashbourne will go about this chase now?
If I was in the Ashbourne dressing room, I would just say, look at what Brendan and Sahil did. Wait for it. They are bowlers who will give you bad balls. There is no point going hammer and tongs from the ball 1 because if you lose quick wickets, this is a merciless sport, right? And T20 is about fine margins. If you lose 3 wickets inside the power play, that 170 will look like 250, and then you're never going to chase it unless someone plays a blinder. So if I was Ashbourne, I would just say, wait for 6 overs, set up small targets, 6 overs, 40 runs without a wicket. We have a game in hand.
Well, that'll be the way they'll need to go about it. Well, Eli, who was the pick of the Pembroke bowlers for you?
Pembroke bowlers?
Batsmen, sorry.
Well, I think everyone batted well, including Bouchan and even Naveen, who got a nice 15. But I think I'm with Prashant. Bruce Whaley, who came in. I think a strong contender is Sahil, but I just thought the manner which Bruce played in, hit some beautiful shots. He's been short of a couple of runs in the last couple of games, but he really showed his talent today, and he showed what he could do and take a bow, young Bruce Whaley.
Well, there we have it then. Ashbourne will be taking their time, their 10 minutes, and they'll be returning to the middle then. We'll leave you with the rest of Niall's highlights, and then we'll see you for the start of the second innings. So thanks for joining us so far.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are back for Ashbourne's chase of Pembroke's total. So for people who have missed out, Pembroke won the toss, elected to bat first. They put on a decent score of 169 for the loss of 5 wickets. Now it's Ashbourne openers who are out, and their target to chase is 170. And there's a change in commentary box as well. With me, Prashant, is Charlie.
Good afternoon, Prashant. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a beautiful day at the ballpark, and we're delighted to be here. Looks like Justin will be opening the bowling for the fourths, Pembroke fourths.
And Captain Gordon Clark marshalling his troops. And it's Justin with the ball, and Captain Clark would be expecting Justin picks up a couple of wickets and put Ashbourne back on the back burner. And while Ashbourne would be expecting they get a solid start, just like how Pembroke did.
Justin's consistency is the reason he's the opening bowler. He can swing, and we have a very good camera angle, so hopefully we'll be able to see everything that ball is doing.
Yeah, I also think the pitch will slow down a bit because it's pretty sunny today. So Justin will be relying a lot on his accuracy, which he's known for.
And when you say the pitch is slowing, what does that mean? It's just not bouncy enough?
When you say the pitch is slowing, it becomes tacky. So as soon as you bowl the ball, if it comes at 3 seconds when the ball reaches the bat, it'll come down at 5. So if as a batsman you don't time it well, you're out. And on the money straight away.
Flicked away by the batter there. Nice, easy start.
I think the two batsmen are Kondendrama and Bonham. And Justin bowled his first ball slightly outside the off, but on the money. That's a little bit of outswing from Justin, and batsman did not move his feet. Play and a miss.
This is very typical for Justin's setup. Had the one slip in the safe hands of Brandon Ferris. He's taken a few wickets in that position so far this year. Let's see what happens.
That's a wide. You don't see that often from Justin Doherty, and umpire quickly signals wide, and Ashbourne are off the mark.
Another small plane flying over. Beautiful day here, dry, not a cloud in the sky. And that's another one through.
Hint of outswing again for Justin.
See a lovely shot of the beautiful sky, slightly hazy, very warm, very comfortable. Great day to play. Justin delivers, and that one's just dribbled, tapped forward.
Yes, I think the batsmen are playing for the outswing, and Justin is landing each and every ball between middle and off stump. So it's not an easy shot to play when you want to just flick it across your legs unless you are ready in position, and Justin is giving no room for that. Justin charging in.
Oh, just tapped behind. Looked like it caught the outside edge.
Yeah, it's the bottom edge of the bat, and
Oh,
lucky for the batsman that it didn't go on to hit his stumps. He was in no position to play the shot. And he gets off the mark, so it's 2 runs without a wicket for Ashbourne, and that's 4 balls bowled with 1 extra.
looks like Bonham will face his first delivery now.
Yep. And you can hear Pembroke fielders cheering Justin, saying that's a new batter, get him. That's a swing. Bottom edge, and Luke Murray cuts it off just for a single, and good arm.
Prashant, tell me a little bit about your mentality when opening in a T20. So that'll be very different, obviously, from a longer format game. So the clock is ticking,
Yep.
but also, you don't want to be too loose. So tell me a little bit about your approach.
Charlie, the kind of batsman I am, I'm usually more of a back foot player. And I know at the start of the innings, it's usually the pace bowlers who are on. And personally, I love playing a lot of pace, and I'm not very comfortable against spin. So my mentality when I'm playing or chasing a target, it's always it's not about fours and sixes in the beginning. It's about rotating the strike. So even if I don't hit a boundary in the first 6 overs, but I want the score to be 6 overs, 40 runs without a loss of a wicket, because you're still over 6 and over, no matter how long you chase. But if you keep the scoreboard ticking, it often confuses the opposition batsman to try something which he's not used to, which is spread out the field.
See, I'd be the opposite from you. I like to play spin. I like a slower, bouncier, higher ball.
Yeah. To each their own, Charlie.
That must be why I don't open the batting.
So I think the thing about being an opener is to understand that it's a one-ball game anyways, either ways, right? So if a bowler bowls a good ball, you have to respect it. There is no point slogging each and every ball.
Here comes Luke Murray.
Slightly drifting down the leg side, but remember at this division there is no wide ball on your leg side. So whatever the blue line you see on the screen, if the ball crosses that blue line, that's when it's called as a wide. Luke has to adjust his armor and focus right at the stumps and use his pace. Drifted slightly towards his legs, and Naveen at deep square leg throws it back to the keeper, and just a single. Charlie, I have a question for you. When you look at these two batsmen who are new to the crease, they have a target to chase. Would you go to your best bowler in the beginning, or you would bring out your part-timer and expecting that, you know what, might as well get me a wicket?
That one's through the batter there. In my limited captaincy experience, and by limited, I'd say a grand total of 0, I would probably tend to want to bring out my best bowlers first.
Absolutely. I think I'm of the similar ilk as what you just said. Even when I captain for Pembroke Fives, I always go to my best bowlers all the time. If they don't click, that's when I'll bring my...
Swing and a miss there.
That's when I'll bring my part-timers or, off-the-pace bowlers. Luke Murray with a beautiful, beautiful ball.
And Luke and Justin, this is a very well-established opening pair for the Pembroke Fourths. They're very used to bowling the first 6 to 8 overs. Sometimes Justin will do his full complement at the top of a game.
Absolutely. Oh, that's skidded on. So this is exactly what I meant by the pitch slowing down. So if you look at the ball, how Luke bowled, he bowled it a quicker one, as we call it, but the ball came 2 or 3 seconds later to the batsman. So by the time the batsman decided to play the shot, the ball was already on to him. So he was a second or two late for the shot, and that's because of the nature of the wicket.
Murray delivers. That swung on and missed. Waved at, really.
Yeah, he flashed at it, and that's 2 overs gone, 4 runs without a wicket for Ashbourne. And Luke and Justin continue to do what they're best at.
Now, these batters they've opened. They know they have a target to chase. 2 overs down. In their mentality, they must be thinking, okay, well, there's a certain amount of time for us to get settled in. When do you think they start to feel the pressure of needing to connect?
I think it's after the 4th or the 5th over, if they have not got to, let's say, 25, 30 runs, right? And that's when they'll think like, I need to cut lows. And that's where, as a bowler, you start sniffing and say, that's my chance to get a wicket.
Justin returns the attack directly towards us.
That's a quick single. And Bhushan at mid-off cuts it off.
This is where you're going to be better than me on the calling of where things go on the field. The fielding positions are still don't come to the top of mind for me yet.
Again. Same ball, same shot from the batsman, same mistake, bottom edge, and lucky that it didn't roll it back to his stumps. I think his partner is right in walking across to him and telling him that don't try anything foolish right now. Get your eye in first. Figure it out, and then we'll probably go about it, which makes more sense.
Justin, his third delivery.
That's a little bit of swing for Justin yet again, and the ball moves outside the batsman's arc. And Kondan Rama is slightly getting frustrated. He's faced 11 balls, just got 1 run. I think if I was him, the first thing I would do is just get the ball on my bat, get a single, and get the other man back on strike.
That swung on, hit big. The fielder is there, and it's over his head. That's gone. We'll wait for the umpire's signal. Given the distance, it looks like
It's a 6.
it's a 6.
Yep.
So that big swing, few of them didn't connect, but that one did.
Once he hit, it stayed hit.
Kodandarama again. Another big
Ooh.
swing. This time doesn't connect.
And that's a no ball by Justin. You don't see that often. That's another ball where he'll have to steam back in and deliver it. 1 extra ball means 1 extra opportunity for wicket for the bowler and also for the batsman to slog.
In that situation, because it wasn't too high, so it must have been his foot was over the line. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. That's tapped. No run.
Sahil at point, cuts it off. Good arm. And Justin will steam into bowl what would be the end of his second over. That's a bad ball, or a rare bad ball from Justin, and batsman rightly put it away for another boundary in this over. So expensive over for Justin Doherty, and Ashbourne moved to 16 for no loss at the end of 3 overs, and we have a change in commentary. I'll be replaced by James Crispin.
Fielder in with a shout.
Good afternoon, Charlie.
Good afternoon, James. Welcome.
He covered a lot of ground there, but he's never really going to get that. That was a really good hit. Probably the best one of the day. So, what do you make of the first 3 overs?
Well, I mean, I think Justin will be thinking as he goes back into the field about what happened there. But that's 2 deliveries that were kind of punished and put away, and that's the majority of the score at this point. So you'd have to tell yourself, okay, just tighten up and remember what we do. Quick single, dribbled back.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too upset by that if I was Pembroke or Justin, the bowler. It was just unlucky. He bowled. He was obviously going for a Yorker there and overpitched and was punished as a result. But these guys are going aerial, so you'd be encouraged that, okay, it's going to be in the air. It's a good opportunity to catch them out if you bowl to our field. And that's one thing with Justin, you can rely on, that he does bowl to his field. So, but
That signal has brought the big hitter back on strike, Kodandarama.
way too short and punished as a result. That was not a very good delivery, but a great shot.
That one bounced up and smacked the wall of the pavilion.
Yeah, he just pitched that in too short, and the batsman was quick to get onto that. Pivoted on his hips, just, was very fast through his hands and helped that on its way to a very convincing boundary. He got there in no time. He'd be feeling pretty good. He's made up from a slow start. So it just shows you how quickly you can come back. This is quite a pivotal time for Pembroke. They mustn't let this slide out of their control. And a good test for the young man here, Luke Murray, the bowler. Ooh. I'd like to see on the replay how wide that was, because he's just losing his line. Okay. All right. Yep, cool. No, you wouldn't replay that, but that's just wishful thinking. Yeah, that was all over the place.
Third delivery from Murray.
Oh, what a comeback.
The death rattle sounds behind. Kodandurama, another big swing. Unfortunately, he didn't connect.
Well, it's a great saying in cricket. It's like, bowl straight, you miss, I hit. And it's so effective. I mean, sometimes you'll get onto it, but look at this. He just bowled a great straight line at the stumps. He just wound up there for the big hoik, trying to get a 6, and completely played over the line. Had no idea where that ball was. Just lost his shape, took his eyes off the ball, and crashed into the stumps. And that's the danger man so far out. I mean, he was looking very, very good.
Yeah, Pembroke will be grateful for that wicket. Kodandurama looked very dangerous and had already hit a number of boundaries and was showing himself to be a real threat. And so dismissing him now will put the wind in Pembroke's sails.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the good way of putting it because, it was starting to slip a bit there, and I thought it was getting pendulum slightly moving in the Ashbourne, direction. If he had been in there for another 5 or 6 or even 10 overs, who knows what the score might have been, but it's not to be. Oh, a great delivery again. Seems to have found his rhythm and his line now that he's got that wicket.
The new batter is Mr. Bruton.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Murray will be looking to welcome him to the game. First delivery gave him a little bit to think about. Let's see if the batter can get settled in here.
Again, just bowl that tight line, cramp up the batsman, make him do something rash. Oh, see, drifting down leg a bit there. Lucky Charlie was able to get that, but just straying off his line. Anyway, 2 relatively new batsmen out there. Even the opener has only faced 5 balls. So it's a good opportunity for Pembroke to maybe make another breakthrough. And a good opportunity for Ashbourne to rebuild. Oh, wow.
Cut off the boundary and sent back in. Did that make... okay,
No,
so
no.
the umpire signaling leg by.
Yeah, he's just straying down the leg side a bit today, and he was able to just get enough on that to get the ball past the keeper and get a 1. So it's another 1 to the score. It's on the end of the 4th over, is it? Can't really see. Got a few more. Yep, 23-4. Sorry, you say it, mate.
Sure. 23 off 4 overs with 1 wicket down.
So Ashbourne, apart from the loss of that wicket, that's not the worst start. It's actually quite good. These two now, from an Ashbourne point of view, need to be there by for the next sort of 6 to 7 overs at least. I think just to build a partnership. Justin continued. Oh, nice. Just a bit straying there as well.
Justin was curious about that. Had a quick look at the umpire. Umpire was confident in his signal.
Yeah, probably a line ball. Probably just trying to get him a bit of a wide sort of shot. The guy was just trying to cut the ball and maybe get a nick to the keeper or the slip. Yeah. Oh, I think that was a bit harsh. But anyway, signaling another white.
Justin is a fierce competitor, and his performance level is exceptional, and maintains his consistency.
Yeah, no. Ooh, yeah, I thought that was a bit harsh. It's sort of. That's definitely wide. But I thought the previous one was, treated a bit hardly. I thought once it got to the batsman, it was still on the, or maybe a fraction into that blue line.
Anyway.
Justin
will reset himself here.
Well, at the end of the day, you just want the umpires to, and they are, I think, just being consistent. So as long as that, popped out of his hands. Great chance there, and it spilled there at point. Oh, I think it wasn't hit very hard. It was just sort of spooned up to him there, just plonked off the edge. As a batsman, you think that's definitely out, and he was almost walking towards the pavilion there. And unfortunately, Sahil has spilled this one. Normally really safe hands, just lost it there. Maybe something got in his eye line or whatever, but anyway, an opportunity gone begging. This is important for Ashbourne. They need to capitalise on these misses. He's had a life now. He needs to go on.
Yeah, it's hard to put those things out of your head sometimes. When mistakes happen, you have to move on and have your teammates pick you up, have your bowler pick you up, and keep working together as Justin prepares for his next delivery.
Oh, it's beautifully played. It's a bit too straight and just worked off the legs into the deep. They're going to pick up at least 2. It's a lovely shot. Just very graceful and out of the middle of the bat along the carpet. That was no ball. This is very unlike Justin. Seems to have got his frustration up here. Just needs to take a breath. I mean, he's got loads of experience and he's a very, very good, effective bowler. Hence, that's why he opens the bowling. But, maybe just a bit frustrated from that catch going down in the over. Anyway, that's cricket for you, though. You've got to pick yourself up and put it behind you and think about the next ball. Let's see what happens here. Oh, tempted Yorker again. There's a man out there in the deep. Oh, good arm. Oh! Is that out? Direct hit.
It was a direct hit. No call yet from the umpire. There won't be any replay, so he made his ground.
That was an amazing piece of fielding, and what a return. Direct hit from the deep.
Against Bruce Whaley up there.
Yeah, it's a pretty spectacular piece of fielding there. Ooh, that was... that batter must have just got his ground because I didn't think he'd actually make it home.
It looked close. It was a real bang-bang play. That one's popped in the air. Does it have the distance?
Well, it's going to run away for 4. It's a good shot. It went straight through the line. He got a lot on it. The field was up, so there wasn't much risk. There's no one down there in the deep. So if you connect well, you're going to get a good reward. It's good signs for Ashbourne. Looks like they've shaken off any worries they may have had, and they've obviously got some very good big hitters here. So, you know, they've got 1 wicket down. That's a good thing for Pembroke from their point of view. They've raced to 36.
Yeah, Ashbourne's really responded after the wicket. We'll see how Pembroke responds now.
That's a better ball. That's the Yorker he's been trying to bowl.
We'll see a highlight here of Bruce Whaley. Classic up and then throw position. Textbook form, direct hit.
Just got his bat down. That was absolutely amazing fielding. Well done, Bruce. That's a very high standard that his teammates need to live up to.
Good luck to them.
Yeah. You have to think that if Bruce sticks with this game, he's going to go far.
Well, what was impressive, too, is the position in which he fielded the ball. So he fielded the ball with his throwing foot forward already. So all he had to do was bring it up to his chest and continue the same motion from picking up the ball to throw the ball. So that was as fast as it could be fielded and thrown, and a direct hit. So that's
Great
as good as
technique.
you can do it, as good as it can be done.
Brilliant technique in the field there. Anyway, Luke Murray to continue.
And that's just dribbled off the leg side safely into the hands of Captain Gordon Clark.
Luke, who's now got 1 wicket, the only wicket in the innings so far for Pembroke, and he's just conceded 7 runs. He'll be looking to pick up another wicket now to help his team. Ooh. That's it. Fielded well. Got a bit on that and went straight to the point fielder who's saving 1. Bit of a fumble, but no run conceded. Maybe just a bit over-pitched, that ball. Again, just bowl at the stumps. It's got good enough pace and a bit of movement if it seems. Oh, yeah. Ooh, almost played on. It's one of the dangers when you're trying to cut the ball as it goes past the off stump is just if you get an inside edge, which is very, very easy to do, you can play straight onto the stumps.
You wonder if Murray's really targeting the new batter here. So Bonham has had some big hits here, and the newer batter, the third batter, Bruton, just on the one. That's off the pad.
Just
No
drifting
run.
down, just drifting down leg there. He's prone to do that. I think it's maybe he tries too hard or something to put a bit more effort through the ball, but lost his line there. But lucky he got away with it. No run conceded.
When you see that drifting down leg side, is that what you think is causing it? It's just a little bit overthrown.
Yep, I just think he's just trying to put too much of an effort into it, as opposed to he lost his shape there as well. Oh. Well, there's all a bit of excitement there. The ball hit straight to mid-off, who had a shot at the stumps. Probably worth having a look there, and unfortunately the players
Didn't
on the
connect.
well, you didn't connect, and the players on the offside are very deep, so got a run there. But yeah, probably wasn't the worst decision. Only conceded one run.
That one stroked to the leg side
Oh,
and gets through the fielder for 4.
yeah, to cover a bit of ground there, but it was a lovely stroke. Again, that's because he's drifting down leg. He can just work that around the corner, let the ball do all the hard work. Beautiful timing, and he got the 4 for his reward. I just find sometimes maybe Luke Murray he's just trying to put too much of an effort into it as opposed to just getting a rhythm.
At the end of 6 overs, Ashbourne will have their 41 runs, so I think they'd be happy with the start so far.
Right.
And now we'll have a commentary change. I'll be departing, and I'll welcome our new commentator in.
So after 6 overs, it's 1 wicket down for 41 runs. Travelling at 6.83 and over. Pretty good for Ashbourne. They're well in touch. Pembroke really need to get a couple of wickets and slow this down and put real pressure on the batsmen. I'd like to welcome Eli back to the commentary.
Thank you. I feel like with the power play now over, you've got the spinner of Naveen, who played a key role in the batting, who has some very good variations. With the more field is allowed out, he could pick up a wicket or two.
Absolutely. He's very good. He gets good flight when he wants to be. He can move the ball quite well. He's going to cause potential trouble for the batsman. They're going to go after him, as you would in the T20. But he's got a pretty spread field, so that's through the
wicketkeeper's legs. Quick one there from Naveen. Charlie would have to reacted quite quickly.
So Charlie moved over to get it, but it went through his legs and conceded 4 byes. Not the start that Naveen wanted. Not his fault.
He's going to have to try to bounce back from it.
Oh, no, absolutely, he will. But it was a good ball. It just was offline. If you had done that at the wickets, it might have been an interesting LBW try, or the batsman got on it and hit it down mid-on. That's a bit better.
Respected by the batsman. Straight back to Naveen.
Yeah, well played by the batsman. There's no point going after shots that aren't there.
It's a good comeback from Naveen, though.
Looks like he's a strong man. He can hit the ball far, so it's important now for Naveen to get his line right.
He looks trapped in
that
front
looks-
there.
Ooh.
Umpire not giving it. I've seen that maybe on the replay. Maybe we'll see a replay here. Looks pretty good at the moment. Maybe drifting down leg, if anything.
Oh, he's got away with that. It must have been just enough doubt because it was a step back and he was across the line.
It's just a big hack there from the batsman, Bruce Whaley. Doing well, saving 2 runs there. Pembroke, their fielding's going to have to be good. We've already seen a drop catch from Sahil. Just going to have to hope. Oh, it's 1 short.
1 short, so just the 1 awarded to the batsman.
Yeah. And other thing, Sahil already dropped a catch. Could be a expensive one, but just going to have to bounce back from that. The fielding's been good so far from Pembroke.
Yeah, just a slight delay here by the batsman at the non-striker's end, just to make some adjustments to his shoelaces. And here we go again.
Short,
Yeah.
hit away,
There is protection down there in the deep.
straight to Justin Doherty. Just a single for Ashbourne. Their 50 is coming up close.
Yeah, it's a I think it's a well balanced and poised attack or follow at the moment. Both teams are probably could say almost neck and neck at this stage, except for the fact that I think Pembroke had a wicket down at this stage as well. So
Yeah. Well,
good contest.
Bershin is going to have to maybe pick up the speed a bit. 14 off 15 balls. That's just hit away to Gordon Clark, the Pembroke skipper.
Overall, pretty good over. He was not easy for the batsman to get him away. It's a bit of a shame about from a Pembroke point of view, about the 4 byes conceded at the start of the over. But good for Ashbourne. They're rolling touch.
This is your fault. Oh! Why isn't that coming up?
The worm chart there is trying to be a bit of abstract art, but we'll work on that and see if we can actually put some figures
in.
in.
We won't be doing anything to that. Either. It works or it doesn't. Look out, that's the
There's
same.
going to be a change of bowler for
Who
Pembroke.
knows?
Going to
Anyway.
be Joydeep Roy coming on for Pembroke. He's been a good bowler for the 4s. He's got a lot of enthusiasm about him.
Yeah, you want to get. I think you'd be thinking about spreading the field a bit here. Give this guy a single. He's. Oh no, actually, it's Bruton's on strike. He's been a bit slow. He's only. It's 4 from 15. So you want to try and keep him on strike as much as possible. But
Back of a length there from Joy, tucked away. They're going to look to get 2. Bit of miscommunication. Direct hit would have been definitely gone.
wow, that's a bit exciting. Yeah, there was never really ever a second run there. His partner didn't want anything to do with that.
Probably ended up being the right call now.
Well, yeah, and he's the batsman that's got a higher strike rate of 16 off 12. You don't want to run him out.
No, definitely not.
Not from an Ashbourne point of view anyway. So it's good. It's good excitement here. Some good field placings. It's just deep enough to put doubt in the batsman's mind about whether there's a second run to be gone. Let's see what happens here, whether Joydeep can keep his line on length.
Yeah, he's going to have to just bowl onto his field. Hit him on the pad.
Oh,
It looked pretty
yes, it's
right.
given.
It's given. And the batsman looks very confused. The non-striker says high. I thought that might have been a bit high, but the umpire gives it out. He definitely has a better perspective for us.
Yes, my initial thought that was probably just above the knee roll and a bit high, but we're not in front of it. Comes down. And,
Great swing.
I thought that was
That looks maybe a bit high.
Anyway, umpire, it's cool. He sees it how he sees it, and
We can't change anything
he
about it.
may have taken the top of might have taken the top of the stumps off. He was back in his crease.
Well, yeah, he went quite deep in his crease.
yeah.
That's another thing.
So I think it might have just taken the bails off. Anyway, it's been given out either way.
Pembroke won't care. It's a wicket for them, and it's
a crucial wicket, actually.
Yeah, it brings the new batter in, Velga, who opened the bowling, I think, for Ashbourne. He was bowled good spell.
It's a shame from an Ashbourne point of view. He was looking very entertaining. He was hitting the ball well, doing what his team needed. He was above the 100 and something right of the strike rate, probably 130 odd strike rate, and was looking very comfortable. So that's a real shame from Ashbourne, but that's cricket. They've got enough batsmen in there to have an opportunity. They still have 48 runs on the board, and 7.2 overs gone, so they're in touch.
Yeah, the required run rate, you can see at the bottom of your screen is 9.63. They might have to pick that up, but as Pembroke showed, runs in the middle order can definitely come.
Oh, that's right. If you stay, they're more than run a ball here. So sooner or later, if these two stay in and get a partnership, they'll see the ball better, and then you think the fireworks would happen. So no need to panic here from. Oh, it's a good ball.
It's been a good start so far from Joy Roy.
Played well, executed, kept it out.
Just as a T20 bowler especially, need to target those stumps or whatever you've planned with your captain and your field. Just need to make sure you bowl to your field and you bowl to your full potential.
Yeah, and those dot balls are very valuable.
Even though it's like the 8th over, every dot counts, especially in a T20.
Ooh.
Tuck that away out to deep to fine leg and just get a single.
And that's a good result there for Ashbourne as well. While you've got a new batsman there, just rotate the strike, get the single, let the batsman who's been in there for a while basically hog as much of the strike as he can. You should be seeing it pretty well.
This Jordy Roy's definitely getting this ball to swing in so much in. You're seeing a lot.
Oh, that's a
Good
beautiful
ball.
Yorker.
Good, very well executed Yorker. The batsman keeps it out.
Yeah, it was a good effort to keep that out, wasn't it? That was, wow. Wasn't much a margin for error there. Good bowling.
Yeah, Pembroke, especially if they can keep the momentum of this bowling and batting into the game later this afternoon. Just guided down. It's a great shot. Down to find third man, Stu McDonald, fielding well there. And good backing up from Sahil. Things you don't see a lot, even in men's, that could be costly.
So important to back up. So after 8 overs, the 50 is up for Ashbourne. So that's a good milestone for them to have achieved. Loss of 2 wickets, but no need to panic.
Yeah, there. Only thing is, the run rate just creeping up. It's now at 10 and over. Naveen coming back on again.
Exactly. It was a good over there by Joy Deep. I mean, he only conceded, I think, 2 runs, maybe, from memory.
Yeah, 3.
Or 3 runs,
Three
was it?
with
Sorry.
1
Yeah,
wicket, so it's a very good over. Just keep the pressure on Ashbourne.
well, those 3 dot balls are going to be, like you say, to spike the run rate up to 10. Anyway, Naveen, the challenge is on for him to do something similar. Oh, lovely flighted ball.
Just a very good change because you can see his first ball of his first over was a quicker one, and it went straight through Charlie all the way forward. Just floated up there and tied the batsman to have a big swing. And again,
Giving no room to the batsman there, straight, almost an identical ball, and played identically as well to the cover fieldsman. This is good for Pembroke. Ashbourne must just keep their heads and don't panic. They just need to have a look. Oh, there you go. That just releases a bit of pressure. At least gets a single. Ooh, well done by Charlie. Just smothered that ball. Probably would have been best just to put that in your pocket.
yeah,
Don't want to risk another 4 overthrows. I think Captain Gordon Clark would be not very impressed if that had gone for 4 overthrows. So,
Especially when he was the one who went to back it up.
well, yeah, exactly. So,
just have to Pembroke just keep their heads in the field. That looked pretty straight. Umpire not giving that. Might have a replay.
did he get anything on it, or
We'll see a replay here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I
Looked
heard
maybe
noise.
going down leg.
Oh,
It
no,
looks
that,
very straight. We don't know. We can't really see from this angle if he's hit it, but the umpire obviously has a better angle.
I thought I heard a noise. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe that's what saved him.
Yeah, I thought I heard double noise there.
Because I'll tell you what, that was pretty plumb. Oh, that's
Slided up. It was just
nothing wrong with that. He just overpitched it slightly.
It just ended up being a single, possibly not the worst result there, considering just slightly overpitched.
But if I was Gordon, the captain, and also Naveen and the team, I wouldn't be upset by this. Singles are not enough. The run rate's climbing to 10.5 now.
Like two
So-
off the over so far.
Yeah, so, you're happy. I mean, surely, look, inevitably they're going to go for a big strike, but if he bowls tightly, the risk is all with the batsman. See, there you go. Oh, he's running out of opportunity. Oh, he's running it wrong end, but that's okay. Again, just a single, but that's the pressure. What happens when you build pressure?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just slight miscommunication from the Ashbourne batters there. Skipper Gordon Clark will be slightly annoyed at himself, but he knows that he might know that a single possibly isn't the worst result.
But again, only 5 runs conceded from a Pembroke point of view. The Ashbourne batsmen are having a confidence in the middle, maybe just saying that they need to maybe just communicate a bit clearer. Yeah. Don't be afraid to say yes or no. But that, again, that's what pressure does. You feel that, we need to actually try and get as many runs, or squeeze runs out of places where there is no run,
Yeah,
or risky runs.
just in that over, the run rate cracked up by 0.64, so the pressure definitely piling on Ashbourne. 117 is required.
Enjoyed it to continue.
Bowled very well in his first over. Definitely deserved a wicket.
Yeah, just making a few adjustments to the field. In he comes. Oh, nicely played. Just played it past the captain there at the mid wicket.
Gonna get two there. Bruce doing very well. Great arm. Again, just a lack of backing up. They see Luke Murray backed that up. It's quite late though, so if Joy Deep hadn't fielded that correctly, that could have gone away for another run or two.
Yeah, it just shows you awareness you need to have when you're in the field about what that's better by Pembroke. They're actually backing up a bit better for that ball. That's all right. It's just another single.
And the reason you don't want any overthrows really, because if one goes all the way to the boundary, that might just relieve the pressure a little bit and allow the batsman to just knock the ball around for the rest of the over, especially it's early on in the over. It's a big hack there, just easily to Luke Murray, who keeps that in his pocket, a single. It's been a okay start for Ashbourne to the over, 4 from it after 3 balls. They now just need to continue that to the rest of the over.
Yeah, you can see a bit of the frustration building for the batsman at this stage.
It's a nice shot. It was there to be hit.
I must admit, I am very impressed by Joy Deep's bowling. He is bowling to his field. He's bowling in tight lines, so there's no real opportunity for Ashbourne at the moment to get boundaries, not without extreme risk.
The only thing is with bowling tight is there's no room for error. If it's a little bit over pitch or a little bit on the legs, that could race away to the boundary. So he just needs to keep what he's doing.
So Joy Deep's just making an adjustment to the onside boundary. Moving
Brendan Ferris, I
bit
think,
more,
is moving.
Yeah, a bit more to a deep square on the boundary position as opposed to a cow corner
I think
position.
Sahil has gone a bit straight.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're trying to encourage him to go in a big hit off cow corner and miss hit and hopefully get caught.
that's a great take from the keeper, Charlie. Going down like good use of the feet. Often you see wicket keepers not use their feet and just throw their body at it. Definitely stopped some runs there.
Charlie's a class keeper, all right. And his daughter Shona, who's keeper for Ireland, or one of the keepers for Ireland with Mary Waldron. Oh, again, good work there by the keeper, but straying down leg side too much.
Yeah, there's what I said. Just no room for error. If you're bowling in tight, you have to ensure that you need to bowl that way all the time. 2 down leg for Joy Deep. Just a little inside edge, maybe.
Yeah, I think from the shape of the shot he was playing, it was probably drifting down leg anyway. So,
Leg bows.
but again,
That's
not too bad. I mean, it's still almost 11 and over they need.
It's encouraging for.
And on that happy note, I'm going to leave the commentary and hand it over to Craig Senior, the captain of the commentary team. So thanks, Eli.
Thank you, James.
dodgy wire in that. It's the connection. Yep.
That's a good start, yeah. Connection is so.
Well, I'm pleased to be joined by Craig Senior. It's always a treat to be joined by you, Craig.
Thank you, Eli. There we see the Pembroke bowling so far. Luke Murray with that wicket.
And
1 for 12. And now continuing from the St John's, from the nursery end, is Naveen Malapatil.
well, it's could be encouraging from Pembroke, 'cause seeing the last couple of balls, Ashbourne have been probably just not been losing their patience and having a big swing to the leg side. If I'm Naveen, I may be going a slower ball here, or a quicker one. Yeah, it's a slower one.
Well, they take a single from that. At the halfway mark, of course, they'd reached 60 off their 10. Pretty similar to where Pembroke were. And this game very much still in the balance, and we're building up now to a big finish here. Naveen now bowling from that nursery end. He's trying to avoid the boundary balls at this stage, I'd say. Eli, what do you think?
Yeah, well, it is a big, it's not a great ball, and that deserves to get hit all the way, and it does go all the way for 4. I was just about to say the boundaries are quite big on that leg side for a right-hander, but if you get a bad ball, you have to put them away, just shown there.
You can't set a field for a bad ball, or at least you shouldn't.
Well, he opted for the slightly slower one again. He just pitched it, as we've seen twice now from Naveen. But Pembroke will be encouraged that Ashbourne are playing across the line.
Well, they're chasing runs. They need a fair few to go now. 170 is their total, 104 required now.
Well, it's been a good over so far, 7 from it, but it's not enough. They need just close to 11 and over. So they need a bounder, and maybe even 2 and over, just to release the pressure in the over.
Well, these two batsmen have been in enough now. 9 off 10 and 13 off 26, as you see on your screen.
Oh, it's edged up. Luke Murray trying to get that. Watch the spin. They're going to try creep for 2. Not a great throw from Luke, but Charlie does very well.
Well, that's what Naveen's looking for. He's looking for that miss hit off the slog sweep. This time it flew between Luke and Sahil. Well, slight change in the field again. Skipper himself bringing him just behind square leg.
Nice flighted.
Bruce Whaley will do
Slogged.
the fielding down there at the Wilfield Road, and that has gone through him.
Unlucky there, Bruce. Maybe just overran it, but spun a little bit. He was one of the heroes with the bat in the first innings, but Pembroke just need to be tight. That's 2 boundaries in the over, and it ends a very, very good over for Ashbourne, getting 11 from it. That's what they need. They need a lot more of those.
It was 12 off that over, Eli.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. They went from 60 to 72. The required run rate, well, it's 10.89. An over of 12 helps, but not tremendously much. They need 98 from these remaining 9 overs.
Craig, any predictions on how it's going to finish?
No, it's far too far away to decide. These two could go absolute nuts, and Ashbourne could win by 8 wickets, or Pembroke could induce a collapse. You just don't know, and that's the great thing about cricket.
You never know.
It's evenly balanced at this stage.
It's slapped down the ground, but luckily Bouchan is out there. Just long barrier. Just a single.
Joydeep Royd is bowling from the St John's end. He's been angling the ball across the right-handers and coming back into them or past their leg side.
Here he charges in again. Oh, it's well dug out. They'll get a single. Bruce Whaley's doing well.
That's a manufactured shot, but 2 singles so far. That plays into Pembroke's hands, and in fact, for the first time, sees the required run rate does go above 11 and over.
Yeah, Ashbourne need a boundary and maybe even 2 in this over. It's just
96 runs required.
big ask for the batters. Big swipe.
Straight down the park again. Long off. Again collects it, keeps it to a single. Pembroke won't be too upset if they take 6 singles in an over.
Pembroke are just doing well to manage this game. It's really in their own hands. If they have any slight slip of concentration, if there's a couple of loose overs, the game might fall definitely in the balance.
Joy D goes with the slower ball, completely foxes the batsman. He wanted to hit it into the next county. He made no contact. Charlie Kavanagh just disturbing the bails to make sure he kept his ground, make sure the batsman's aware how close he is. Your ground at the moment. So 11 overs gone, 12, still 2 balls remaining in this over from Joy Deep. Roy, this one just, and once again, just getting enough of the batsman to prevent the wide.
Well, stop from Charlie, the keeper. He's been really good so far. I did let through those 4 boys against Naveen, but that was a difficult stop.
The bowlers have certainly been working Charlie Kavanagh hard today behind the sticks.
It's
This
great to
time-
Luke Murray and does really well preventing no single. That is the end of the 12th over.
Well, what an over it was. Just the 3 singles came off it, and that's seen the run rate leap to 11.88, as you see on your screen. And Ashbourne are starting to dig themselves a hole, and it's going to take some big hitting to get out of it.
Yeah, you often see so much that there's some big hitters down the order.
Well, if we just have a quick look at the...
Next row, if you want this innings. Yeah, that's the bowling.
Naveen is going to bowl against the figures.
Well, Pembroke yet to use a 5th bowler. His frontline bowlers so far, all
But-
bowled 3. There's 2 wickets, 1 for 12 and 1 for 12.
Both Luke and Joy go in a comedy of 4, which is very good considering that Ashbourne need 11.88 per over.
Well, one of the things Pembroke will be keeping an eye on is the number of extras. It's at 14 at the moment.
Which in a T20 you probably target around maybe 10 extras. You don't want much more because you also have to manage how long you've been in the field for. You need to get through your overs quickly.
Well, Naveen is bowling from the nursery end. He's about to complete his spell of 4 overs.
He's bowled very well. He deserves a wicket. It's slapped down the ground to Stu McDonald, who provided a very, very entertaining innings in the.
Yes, Stu McDonald showing the strength of his bat and bat speed, hitting a couple of beautiful 6s on this occasion.
Well, Naveen has gone for 18 off his 3.2 overs. Very, very good so far. Oh, that's
Full toss is pulled round to the leg side. Brendan Ferris gets down to it. He stops it inside the boundary. Nobody supporting him. He has to raise him to his feet.
does
But
very
he's
well there.
Saved a
Stopped-
couple of runs there, didn't he?
Yeah, he saved 2 runs there.
A spectacular dive. Got down at the right time.
Def-
Back to his feet.
Definitely one for the cameras.
And he saved a couple of runs there. Well, the run rate now over 12. 2 a ball required. Every time it's a single or less, it's a win for Pembroke now. Batsmen have got to be feeling some pressure now from the scoreboard, haven't they?
100%. Well, they can't do the math in their head right now, but 12.37 run rate. That's creeping up. Feels like only a couple of minutes ago it was about 9.
It's
It's
a
in
nice
the
shot
air.
on the offside. It bounces in front of the clubhouse and it's
Oh.
misfielded. Well, there's the boundary they need for this over. Perhaps they need another one as well. That's 7 off 4 balls. And they're actually behind the rate even with that boundary.
Yeah, just need to keep going, Ashbourne. they have another batter who can, like, Pembroke were doing very well. I remember they were about 78 in this after this situation.
No, the worm doesn't work for some reason in this game.
Veen, another slower ball, big swing.
Well stopped by Sahil, who maybe an unnecessary throw considering Jody Broy wasn't backing that. He was a bit asleep there. Wasn't maybe expecting Sahil's throw. Oh, it's a very loose one. It's been hit to Bruce, who takes the catch. Well, I'll tell you one thing, that Naveen deserves a wicket, but definitely not after that ball.
Well, bad balls get wickets. That's the truth of the matter.
And catches win matches.
And catches do indeed win matches. 14. Well, fine catch from Bruce Whaley, and that's just what Pembroke needed. They just need to keep breaking these, and that was the free scoring batsman as well. Bruton, he's not been quite as prolific. He's on 17, but it's taken him 31 balls to get there, and here's a replay of it. As you see, he's come forward and taken it on the full, but all he could do was find Bruce Whaley in the deep. Sounds like a rock band, doesn't it? Bruce Whaley in the deep.
Oh, that'd make a great rock band.
And this is from our other camera angle today.
Great work from Niall Walsh there.
And that's a super catch from Bruce Whaley, making sure he's set. That was bread and butter for Bruce. 3 down, 82 on the board. Still 88 required from 7 overs. Run rate required has jumped over 12.5 now. And we're getting to that stage of the game where single shots make a big difference to the run rate required. And at the moment, it's going the way of Pembroke.
Am I good if I got one more?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
You're in the second innings. Could be.
No, 1 wicket.
One for 12 off 3. He's another one who's now got 1 for 12.
Have,
Of course, Naveen now has picked up his second. He has 2 for a few.
and you still have Luke Murray, who still has one more at the end.
Well, the question is, who will be the 5th bowler today?
Brendan Farris.
Maybe Brendan, maybe Ethan, maybe even Bruce Whaley.
Dot ball.
Got a lot of...
Joydeep Roy, he got one there, coming back in at the batsman. Caused him a bit flush.
Yeah, well,
Bruton's been in for a while now. He really will start to feel the need to get going.
he's had to feel that for a long time. It's a great shot.
Super shot, but I tell you, the fielder nearly got his hand to it and risked running into the slate screen to do so. But that went for 4. First ball of the over. That's just what Ashbourne will have wanted.
That was nearly spectacular fielding from Pembroke. But
And there you see on our replay the umpire signalling 4.
as that, what happens when you get a boundary on the first ball of the over? That applies pressure to the bowler, because now the batsman has 5 more balls where they could hit a lot.
Well, in this case, it's 4 more. This one rattles onto the pad. They'll take the leg by. And again, that's 5 they've scored off 3 balls, which is less than they actually require. So even though it seems like it's going well this over,
Got a special guest, Kieran Volker. Joy charging in. Bit high there.
bit of an appeal. Nothing given in that one.
Looks like the batsman has got it in a bit of an uncomfortable place there.
Sorry?
Yeah.
I'm going to go get a beer. Do you
Sure.
want any, guys?
I'll have a beer. I'll give him my card.
You want a beer?
Yes, please.
How many drink do you like?
Marjorie.
Huh?
Marjorie.
Madry.
Yeah.
That's a beer.
Smith wickets.
Well, 87 for 3. And despite...
Prashant. Oh, excuse any language you heard there. We are very sorry.
Well, that's driven back down the ground, but it's fielded. Just a single.
Yeah, fielded nicely from Bouchan. It's slapped very hard at Bouchan. He's long barrier, body behind it, good commitment.
Well, Gash, I believe, is a pseudonym for somebody who's not quite in the live scoring system at the moment. It's up in the air.
Big chance. Luke takes
Oh my word!
Great
What
catch.
a catch at the second attempt. He took the catch. It bounced free of his hand.
That makes
He
up.
had the presence of mind to keep his eye on the ball.
That makes up for one of the drop catches he dropped for the threes.
He makes a lot of ground, sets himself, and it just pops up. But he manages in his fall
Spectacular.
to hold on to the ball, and that's the 4th wicket down. 88 on the board.
They're never easy running. And especially when you take a catch, you always want to be set.
And that's what he did. He got underneath it, got set, and that gave him the opportunity then to second grab at it, and it was the second grab that was successful. 4 down, 88 on the board, and Bruton departs. He'd scored a few runs, but he had taken a few overs to do so. He knew he had to increase the rate. He had a big hit at this. It looked like it was finding open ground. But Luke Murray, he's done a super job getting across to that, not only getting across to it, but taking the catch. Fine catch.
On that notice, there's going to be a change in the commentary box. I'm going to depart.
Is the captain?
Who's
The captain.
coming in now, Greg? Prashant is going to replace me in the commentary box. Thank you.
Well, Ashbourne now find themselves in a little bit of a hole. You see the card there. Everybody's getting in. Yeah. Oh, they're not in that car. They're in the other car.
Good afternoon, Craig.
Maybe they are. There are the keys. Well, good afternoon. And this game now, it seems to be swinging Pembroke's way.
Yes, it is swinging Pembroke's way, but never say never.
No, we've seen too many strange games in the past to be.
Yep. They just need 14 runs and over. It's not the most impossible task in the world. And Captain Gordon Clark has gone to Bruce. I think it's Ethan.
It's Bruce.
Sorry, it's Bruce, yeah?
Ethan is studying the books for this game. He's allowed to play in the second game. He got a half century yesterday he'll be delighted with, but it's junior cert and he has to do a bit of study before he's allowed a game of cricket. So we'll see Bruce Whaley now on from the nursery end. He'll be bowling his off spin.
And Ashbourne need 82 runs off 36 balls.
Yes, it's that equation's getting tough, isn't it?
Yep. It's slightly getting out of hand unless they have a couple of big overs now and things can swing by their way. What do you make of the game so far? What went wrong for Ashbourne?
Well, one of the things I noticed in the first innings was how willing Pembroke were to try and turn ones into twos.
Yep.
I know there have been bigger hits and you know, Stu McDonald came in and hit some big boundaries, but it's the runs that have been taken that aren't the big hits.
Yep.
It's not just played back to the bowler. They are looking to take those ones whenever possible.
Yeah.
And I
Ticking
think-
the scoreboard, as we say.
Yeah, rotating the strike, causing problems for bowlers. And that's a nice delivery. You could see in the batsman, he thought he was on a free hit there, and then,
Realizes that, you know what, this is not some other new bowler.
yes.
I think it's also very important for Bruce to keep his head calm because the game is evenly poised. There's no need to try anything special. Just stick to what you're good at. That's a beautiful ball. Well tossed up just outside the off stump. Classic off spinner's delivery. Batsman goes for the big hoik. Doesn't get to.
Big gap between bat and pad, and Bruce is creating that by pulling him forward.
Yeah, I think as an off spinner, that's what you want. The batsman driving.
This one comes off the edge of the bat, flies to short third. Sahil will field it there. It will just be a single.
Single, yep.
And that's no difficulty to Pembroke. But I think Bruce's bowling, he's started beautifully.
Yes, and I think he's making the batsman think, do I go after you or do I wait one more over? And that's where the catch starts happening for the batsman and then it's too late.
Well, Yara Batola has come into bat and he takes a leg stump guard. Often the sign of into the batter's box. He's given himself plenty of room. Now he's got something on it, and it is going to run away to the boundary. It was unorthodox, but it worked for him.
I think the name of the game is T20, so you have to do what you are not known for, which is play shots, which are technically not right in the textbook of cricket, but you still have to do it. And I think he got full reward for the shot. And also credit to the batsman, because he had already premeditated it and said, no matter where you're going to bowl, I'm just going to go for you.
Yep, he went right across his stumps. He was in danger there of actually, if he hadn't made contact.
Yeah, it's plum LBW candidate.
Yeah. But he got 4 for it, and he's off the mark, and he's doing his best for his team. 93 for 4 now. Another one, and that's shot through. They'll take the leg by, but as I say, these ones aren't really harming Pembroke at this stage.
And Captain Gordon Clark just tries to kick the ball to the keeper, but then it's too difficult.
He had nobody to shout at for that. So, when he comes in, 2 balls to go in this over.
Bowled a little bit short and the batsman missed it out, so he's bowled a brilliant over, just 5 off it, and 5 and 7s won't cut for Ashbourne. Ashbourne need to target some other bowler and start going big, because it's almost 16 runs and over is what they need. They need 76 of 30 balls, and Captain Gordon Clark turns to Bhushan for the over. Bhushan is a medium pacer with deceptive pace and an extremely good slower ball. He played for the Fifths yesterday and completely foxed 2 batsmen.
No, because I moved them down. It was the trade-off.
Did you? Yeah.
I didn't, no, not really. It's okay.
That's the curiosity of how they do with it that far away.
So it's Bhushan who will...
I didn't see you'd moved them again, actually.
It'll be Bhushan who will be trying to close the innings for Pembroke. And all Captain Gordon Clark would want is 6 legal deliveries, 6 singles. I'm more than happy with it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. 6 and over at this stage does nobody any good. 94 for 4. Well,
And that's
big
a chase
swing
for-
of the arm. Comes round to Cal corner. Luke keeps it to 2. And Gordon Clark prevents the overthrow.
I think there's a big gap between the mid-wicket and the cow corner. I think Bhushan has to realize that he can't bowl anything to his legs, because the batsman will just flick him.
Well, the batsman, I think, is going for power, and that often ends up at cow corner, whether you want it to or not. He goes for the...
Reverse sweep.
Well, it's unorthodox. He's already had one unorthodox shot. So this could be quite entertaining now. Battle of wits between bowler and batsman.
Absolutely. And I also think that the bowler has to keep his head calm, because no matter what the batsman does, he still has to bowl a decent line and length. And if he hits you for a good 6 with an unorthodox shot, so be it. But don't change your line or your length just because the batsman is trying something unorthodox.
If he misses, you hit.
Yes, absolutely. Classic Damien Fleming.
So Vaviskar comes in from the St. John's end. Well,
Didn't time the ball at all.
he certainly wasn't aiming to put it to that spot. In fact, that's probably 180 degrees from where he was aiming, but he got a single for it.
Yeah, and Captain would be happy. Captain Gordon Clark would be very happy with it, because he hasn't bowled a bad ball. And, all he's kept is just 3 runs in this over.
3 off 3, nowhere near what Ashbourne need at this stage. It's a big hit. Now, they need more of that, that's for sure. That has cleared the boundary. It's nearly taken out the spectators. And that's a super shot. Big 6.
It was the attempted slower delivery which batsman picked up pretty well and just
Freed his
smacked it
arms.
for 6. Yeah.
Yeah, he got the chance to use his arms as long levers, and that gave him the distance despite the attentions of Brendan Ferris. Umpire just takes a quick look at the ball. He wants to make sure it's still round and not cut or sliced. So, that's 9 off the over.
And rightfully, Captain has a word with the bowler, just saying that don't give him room to swing. That's a replay for the 6, and he waited on the slower ball, got underneath it, And once he got underneath it, it just stayed hit. Almost hitting the onlookers.
Good slower ball.
Beautiful ball. And batsman had already played the shot before the ball even reached to him.
That was tricky for him, but he got there in the end.
So it's 9 of 5 balls, and Bhushan would be expected to bowl one legal delivery and make sure it's a dot or a single.
Well, that one's clipped away on the leg side. It is going to run down to the boundary. It's 4 runs. That's an expensive over.
And much needed impetus for Ashbourne now. They've got 13 of this over, and suddenly the run rate would fall, so they would need...
Well, it doesn't fall. They need 16.
Oh, they need
over.
16, so it's 15 and a half now.
So they've brought their over rate down a little bit, but in the overall context of the game,
Yep.
they really are still deep in the hole. 15 and 3/4 needed per over now. That was a nice shot. He just played it round, didn't try to overhit it. It ran away to the boundary. It's getting quicker and quicker, this outfield in Pembroke.
And so they need 63 of 24 balls.
Yep. So, Bruce Whaley should continue from the nursery end. He just went for 5 in that first over. My goodness, how his captain would like to see that again. Well, that's a super shot. Hit out to long on.
Just a single.
Well, big calls of backup from the skipper. So Hill had already taken up position. No chance of overthrows there. Just a single.
Wouldn't hurt that. Wouldn't hurt anybody.
You'll see on your screen that bottom right-hand figure, 16.17. That's changing every delivery now.
That was a classic off-spinner delivery, and had he missed it completely, he would have been stumped.
Well, he was lucky to get something in the way of that one.
Yep.
As you say, he'd gone so far down the track, I don't think Charlie Kavanagh would have had any difficulty in whipping the bails off. But he got enough on the ball, and the ball got enough of him.
That's a loose now, full toss, and nicely put away by the batsman. 4 runs. Pembroke are leaking runs right now. 13 of the previous over, 5 of this one, and 3 yet to go. Captain Gordon Clark needs to have a word with all his fielders and say they're still in the game. Don't need to try anything different. Stick to what we are good at, and the game is still there for the taking.
I just have the feeling a wicket's coming. It's very hard to go at 15 and over.
And that's another boundary. So
Well,
they've made up for it.
Super shot, 9 off 4 now. And again, even with these heroics, it's going to bring Ashbourne close, but how close? They're on 116 now. Still need another 54, and there are only 20 deliveries left.
Like we said, Craig, we've seen stranger things in cricket, so anything is possible.
Never write anyone off, that's for sure. So, Bruce Whaley now. 9 has come off this over so far. Consecutive 4s.
And that has prompted Captain Gordon Clark to spread his field out even more.
Well, that one's driven to the clubhouse again. It's another 4. And this is going to make the game a little bit more exciting. Just 50 required now.
Yes, absolutely. And it wasn't a bad ball, but batsman actually played a great shot.
He moved his feet. That was the important thing, though. Once he got to the pitch of the ball, he could play the shot he wanted to.
Absolutely. And I think for spinners, that's the most important key. If the batsman is starting to use his feet, then don't throw it up in the air because he isn't afraid. And Captain Gordon Clark walks to Bruce just to check his field. And he moves Bhushan at long off. Very wide-ish long off.
He's certainly encouraging the straight hit now.
Yep. He's asking the batsman to go against the spin and just swing it again. So they need 50 runs of 19 balls. That's a shorter ball.
There is a fielder out there. They're going to, they call for 2, but there is no 2 there.
There's no chance taking on, I think it's Naveen's arm, and there's a flat throw.
Well, there you go. 3 overs to go now.
End of an expensive over. 13 runs conceded by Bruce Whaley, and game is nicely poised. So Ashbourne need 49 runs of 18 balls, and that's 17 runs and over almost. It's pretty interesting on how the game is nicely poised for both the teams, and Captain Gordon Clark would be looking at his seasoned campaigners to close it off. And there's a change in commentary. Craig Sr. is replaced by Charlie. Welcome back, Charlie.
Thank you very much. Here for the exciting conclusion of this T20 clash between Ashbourne and Pembroke.
Absolutely, and it's Bhushan Bhaviskar who's going to continue his second over. He was expensive for the first one, considered almost 13 runs. And Captain Gordon Clark trusts him to bowl the 18th over.
I think we're going to see some big swings, a lot of runs required here.
Absolutely, and they don't have a choice. Ashbourne don't have a choice other than just go big or go home, because it's 16 runs needed in an over. Even that is difficult, because once you get 16, so 3 over 16 is 48, they need 50, so it's slightly more than 16 now.
So one thing I'll be looking for, and I'm sure the batters will be looking for, is when Bhushan changes pace.
Yes.
So in the last over, he had that one change-up. It'd be interesting to see when he brings it out and how.
If I was Bhushan, I'd bowl the change up first and just confuse them, because they would be sizing up for it. And he bowls a quicker one and whacked.
Now that's gone off the fence above the stone wall.
For a 6. Now Ashbourne are turning on the heat on Pembroke, and Bhushan has to keep his head straight. Captain Gordon Clark walks up to him and has a word. I'm sure he would be telling him, keep going, just as Luke Murray is yelling to his teammate. Just keep going. You don't need to let him hoik. Just keep it straight, keep it simple.
Here's the replay. Flicked off. Got the middle of the bat. Smacked enough high off the chain link fence above the stone wall. Good start for this conclusion. Swing and a miss. Bounce back.
Just a single. That's a change of pace which you were speaking about, Charlie. The batsman completely missed it. And you can hear his teammates yelling to him and say, keep it simple. Just don't try anything else. Just keep it simple. And that's a good change-up once again, and just for a single, and batsmen are not taking a chance with Naveen's arm, and Naveen carefully raises it to his captain and says, I'm going to throw to him.
Yeah, there were a couple of overthrows earlier, so, everybody's staying frosty out there. Sharp, not taking any unnecessary risks.
Yeah, so even now, the game is not gone for Ashbourne. They just need 41 runs out of 15 balls, which is not the most impossible task in the world, considering how fast this outfield is.
It's another one lifted high and gone for 6.
Beautiful shot, actually. It wasn't the worst possible ball, but he bowled it slightly short. Batsman was well in line, and that's a 6. So he's already conceded 14 runs in 4 balls. Captain Gordon Clark wouldn't be too happy about it, and the batsman has moved on to 37 runs from 17 balls. That's a much nearer impetus for Ashbourne.
You've got batters here who know they need to go big. They're looking to go big.
Yep.
They know they're going to see pace. And so I'm really interested in what's going on in this conversation here between Captain Gordon Clark, and we see the replay here.
Yep.
In on the leg side and scooped up and over the boundary on top of the umbrellas as the crowd ducks for cover. So Ashbourne's doing what they need to do here at the start of these final 3 overs.
Yeah, but the big question is, Charlie, is it too late? And you can hear the conversation from his teammates saying that, forget what happened, you focus on your next 2 balls. That's exactly what Gordon would be telling him, that bowl it straight outside the off. That's okay. If he hits you for a 6 outside the off, well done to the batsman, but just don't let him swing it across, because if you bowl a ball where the batsman starts swinging you across, then it's not a great sign. That's when you as a bowler start losing confidence.
Yeah, so there's the 6 you want to give up, and then the 6 you don't want to give up. And the 6 you don't want to give up are the one we just saw, where the ball was drifting leg side, and the batter was able to react and scoop it up and over.
Yep. And
If you're going to get beat for a big hit, make the batter do it, with their best hit.
Yeah, and I think there's a change of balls here. And the umpires are having a quick look and just checking if it's round, if it's on proper, it's still a used ball.
How would a new ball affect how this is going to perform?
If it's a
here?
brand new ball which is being used, which of course is not, then if you're a swing bowler, it's a great advantage for you. If it's slightly used ball, it means you're still keeping the ball as even as possible.
Okay.
But you don't want a brand new ball to be given right now, especially to someone like Bhushan, who knows how to swing the ball both ways. And that's a disadvantage for the batsman then.
Here comes Bhushan.
Playing a mess.
So he kept it outside,
Yes.
outside off stump that time. That's the location he needs.
Yeah, and the batsman realized that was the wrong shot to play because he should have driven the ball or lifted it over mid-off where Captain Gordon Clark is staying deep, but all he did was just swing it. And that's up in the air.
Lost in the sun by Captain Clark.
And just 2 runs off the last ball. That's 16 of the over. Much needed impetus for Ashbourne. So they would need 33 of the last 2. And Bhushan Baviskar bowls his 2 overs and concedes 28 runs. That's 14 runs and over.
This is delayed. So should I be talking to this? This is what the broadcast is?
No.
Talk to the live. Okay, and are they seeing live? Okay. Okay, so I should be narrating what's there. Okay.
Captain Gordon Clark goes back to his best asset, which is Justin Doherty. And he would be hoping that Justin closes this game in this over. You need 33 of 2 overs, so he would be saying to Justin that make sure you give me an over with just 6 runs, and 27 of the last over would be difficult.
And, Justin's earlier bowling, I know, he might be disappointed by some of the shots that came off him earlier.
Yep.
When he missed earlier, he missed to the offside. He
Correct.
wasn't missing leg side,
Yep.
which is what you're really looking for here.
Yeah. And to be fair to Ashbourne, right, so they have picked up pace, but like we discussed earlier, is it too late? They should have targeted the mid-overs, should have been a little more focused, but then the game is still not done. They have a lot of time to recover.
And these 2 batters, too. So Gash is on 39. And if you're the off-strike batter here, if you're Yara Batula, would you be looking to rotate to get that big hitter back on? Or do you not have that you don't have time? Or
So if I was the non-striker, and let's say if I was Yara Batula was batting, right, and let's say the big hitter is on the other side, I would just tell him, no matter what happens on this ball, just run. I'm running. Right? I don't have that much time to waste for even a ball. If the ball hits my hand, pad, and if it's not gone to the keeper, just run. Get you back on strike because I know you're seeing the ball well, you're hitting it well. Let's cash on it. Because every ball wasted or a dot ball is risky.
Justin runs up, delivers.
Tries to play the ramp, misses it completely. Slight misfield by Luke, but no danger, just 1 run. This is exactly what I was telling Charlie. I would just get off strike, irrespective of what happens.
But he went for the ramp. That's not the shot that you select to get off strike.
No, of course not. But you exactly, yeah. You
Justin Doherty runs in again. That swung on and hit deep.
But
Split between the 2 fielder. Oh, fielder is there.
and that's a good cut by Naveen, and they're running for 2. Okay, there's a decent throw, but Justin was a little ahead of the throw. So Justin has been expensive in his first spell. Bowled 3 overs continuously and conceded 28 runs. That's expensive by his standards. That's the one which Justin was trying to do in the first spell, missed it out, but finally gets his batsman.
He'd be hard work rewarded. He'll be very happy with that. And You know, that was Gash, unfortunately, walking away with 41. So a real effort from the batsman. You can see him getting congratulated from the opposition. Here's the replay here. Looks like it was a slightly fuller length that popped up.
Absolutely, and the middle stump just went. That's a slower one, straight up. It's more like you miss, I hit.
And you can see there from the celebration by Justin, you know, he really, really wanted that. And it definitely changes the complexion of the last few overs of this game. So we have the new batter, Sudakaran. So if you're coming in this situation and you know it's go big or go home,
Yeah.
you have no time to get your eye in.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking here now?
I don't care what ball is being bowled. I'm just going to go for it. I'll just swing. If I miss it, it's okay. I'll still run. There's no point saving 5 wickets now if I'm not going to hit.
Justin greets the new batter. And that's smacked. Joydeep is there. Stopped at the boundary. Just a single. Back in quickly.
I think Yara Batula has been playing a second fiddle for Gash. He looks at the field behind. He'll try at the ramp again, is what my assumption is, if it's there for the taking.
Doherty deals.
And he tries a switch hit.
Dribbles behind.
Yeah, appeal for an LBW, but I'm not sure if the ball hit the pads or was it outside the line.
Well, the call from the umpire is that he did hit it. There hasn't been an extra called.
Yeah. So they need 28 runs of 7 balls. Game is swinging in the opposition's favor for them. That's edged. That's a
Right.
nice try by Sahil, but unfortunately the ball wins the chase. So, much needed boundary, but we still believe it's a little too late. So they need 24 runs of the final over, which basically equates to 4 sixes.
It's quite the play right in front of us.
Yeah. And Captain Gordon Clark goes to his strike bowler, Luke Murray. And all he would say to him is, bowl 3 balls. Bowl 3 balls and make sure don't give them runs. The game is done. It's 24 runs. Who's your money on?
Oh, I wouldn't know enough to bet. I think, Pembroke will like their chances.
Yep.
But at the same time, there's, 4 swings of the bat.
Yeah,
and
that's
what,
the edge. That's the luck which we are talking about, right? So it's a game of fine margins, and he wanted to hit on the leg side, but hit the bottom edge and then went for 4, where Sahil put a valiant effort, but it was too late. It's just...
That was a good view of maximum effort, but just couldn't get there.
Yeah. And Joydeep, who's been the pick of the bowlers today, having a quick chat with Luke, trying to tell him just do what you're good at.
So it comes down to the final over here. 24 runs required off 6 balls.
Yeah, pretty interesting game, I would say, Charlie, because at one point of time it looked Ashbourne never had a chance, and then they've come back in strongly. And as of now, the game is still not done. Anything can happen.
Pembroke making their final fielding adjustments. A lot of chatter amongst the team. Yara Batula waits.
I think they are checking. You need four players inside the circle, and Pembroke have 3, and the umpires just asked captain. The captain said, no, there's another one guy, and there's like, no, he's off. You need to get him in. So that's the rule in T20, 4 players inside the circle. And someone has commented 4 sixes to win. Exactly, that's all you need. 4 balls, 4 sixes. That's high in the air. Catch for Bhushan, but difficult. Collects it well. Runs for the second and misfield by Luke. But that's okay in Pembroke's perspective. 2 runs, they wouldn't mind it.
It looked like it might have a chance coming off the bat, but it died in midair.
Yeah.
Dropped in front of the fielder here, who got it in pretty quickly. And all credit to the batters who did run hard and got there too to keep the big batter back on strike. Yar Batula settles in.
That's knocked him off his leg stump, gave him so much room and space, and Luke was like, thank you, I'm going to hit that.
So Luke Murray called upon to deliver in the 19th over and has done so. Yar Batula departs with 13 as we see the replay here.
Yep, that's the leg stump, gave so much space for him, but can't blame the batsman. He didn't have a choice. He had to go for it for everything.
So he stepped across anticipating a delivery that would have been far to the offside. And do you think Luke...
Far to the offside.
To
Yeah.
the offside, and so Luke would have known that.
No, it's more like Luke stuck to his plan. Luke wasn't bowling anything outside. Yeah, and that's what Joy is telling Luke. There's no Rinku Singh. For people who have missed it on IPL, Rinku Singh was a player who was playing for KKR. He hit 5 sixes in 5 balls and KKR needed 30 runs. So that's one of a freak incident which happened in IPL, but we don't know if it can happen in today's game, but you see, never say never.
So 22 runs required from 4 deliveries as the new batter steps in.
Just Whippin' Baby, who opened the bowling for Ashbourne. He's facing Luke Murray, who's charging in to bowl. Swing and a miss. Appeals for a catch, but the batsmen make it for a single. Umpire doesn't seem interested.
The umpires are going to talk amongst themselves here, it appears. The ball's back in their hands as the large, round, white hats have a chat.
Yeah.
And we'll see what the decision is. No finger in the air.
Yeah,
I think Pembroke's appeals have gone unheard.
I think it's a very smart decision by the umpire just to check with the square leg umpire. We'll see the replay. Very difficult to think that he managed to hit it because he had a big swing, but I don't think he got a nick to it.
It was caught, but it may not have hit the bat.
Yeah.
Murray drives.
That's a beautiful ball, and just for a single. Now, Pembroke would be the happier lot right now because the game is as good as done for them because they need 20 runs of 2 balls, which means Luke has to bowl 2 legal deliveries. Luke Murray has been brilliant for Pembroke today. Taken 2 wickets and given away just 16 runs.
Another big swing. Swing enough so the hat falls off the batter. That gives you a sense of the amount of effort that's happening here.
Absolutely, and they need 22 runs of 1 ball until unless there are 4-5 extra balls. Ashbourne aren't chasing it. Captain Gordon Clark marshalling his troops. That's game set and match done. Pembroke have defeated Ashbourne and they have won by 20 runs. Luke Murray has been the standout bowler today and with ably supported by Joydeep in between and Naveen, who bowled a brilliant spell in between. But credit to Ashbourne for making it a very, very difficult game.
Absolutely. Ashbourne held their nerve there in the middle overs, battled back, and you know that final wicket really was kind of the breaking point. And you know, everybody can walk out with their heads held high, but Pembroke have come out on top.
Yeah, and you can see the players shaking hands. We'll be back again in an hour's time. The next game starts at 5 p.m. and it's going to be between Wicklow and Pembroke.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you at the next game.